Good morning, friends and traders. This is Topstep TV, the most watched, the most trusted futures trading stream out there. And we bring you the most popular traders across the globe, around the world, on a daily basis. This is the opening call. It is Thursday. I had to look at the calendar just there. It is Thursday, September 19th, 2024. I'm JD. You're looking at Hogue, John the Goat Hoagland. Mr. Hogue, how is it going this morning? How are we feeling? We ready to do this?
Oh yeah, I'm always ready, man. I'm feeling good, feeling excited about today. We've got the FOMC behind us. Great to see you, JD. Great to see everybody. Top of the chat, Dan Trader, Anastasios, Nick Nichols, Kingdom Citizen. That's a new one. John Jones, Michael, Mike Godfrey, Pete, Theo. Always here in the morning. Always good to see you, Theo. Bill Phillips, good morning. And that's all I can see. But welcome, everybody. We're happy to have you all here. Looking for an interesting, challenging, and always profitable trading day for us all. Remember, our focus here on the opening call is context, risk management, and patience.
A lot of chat all-stars right at the top of the list there. Good morning to everybody. All right, let's get going. Yesterday, they did it, Hogue. The first time in 4 years. March 2020 was the last Fed rate cut, and they did it. They came out swinging. 50 basis point rate cut. That's 1/2 of a percentage point to the layperson. And they're pointing at more rate cuts coming before the end of the year. In that post-meeting press interview, press conference, Fed Chair Powell noted that he doesn't really see anything to suggest a downturn right now. He said economic growth is strong. Inflation is on the way down, and the labor market is solid for the time being. Stocks had a mixed reaction to it yesterday. We saw it. We streamed it live right here on Topstep TV. We're all looking at it together. We saw that initial knee-jerk reaction higher. Then we turned to close on the lows for the day. And now it looks like index futures will be opening with a gap higher at the moment. Pay close attention to Hogue's analysis in a few minutes when he talks about the index markets. Yesterday, David Green mentioned, he was on for group coaching and for Power Hour. He mentioned a couple times the likelihood of trend days after Fed days, high likelihood of that. We're seeing some early warning signs of that already this morning. We've got the NASDAQ trading up at 998 and the S&P at 57.68.5 currently. So stocks trading higher to start the day. Rates, back to the rates issue. Bank of England did not follow suit with the FOMC. They held their meeting early this morning and announced that instead of a 25 basis point cut, they're going to hold rates steady for the time being. The British Monetary Policy Committee voted 8-1 to hold rates as is for now, with the lone dissenting member voting for a 25 basis point cut. One member voting for a 25 basis point cut, 8 members voting to hold rates steady. They did, however, vote to reduce their bond exposure by 100 billion pounds over the next 12 months. Tomorrow, the Bank of Japan will also be holding their interest rate, a meeting discussing interest rates. So we'll report back to you on the outcome of that meeting tomorrow. Should be interesting to see what the Bank of Japan decides to do. One side effect of the rate cut is that shares of U.S. home builder stocks are off to the races this morning. Expectations of higher demand are growing. We got a taste of that information yesterday with housing data. Mortgage and refinance applications were up huge. Refinance applications were up 24% week over week last week. That's a huge increase. And housing starts also came out well above consensus ranges. A couple of stocks moving this morning are D.R. Horton, Lennar, Pulte Group, and Toll Brothers, all up about 3% pre-market this morning. Something we're going to keep an eye on. As far as the Mag 7 goes, closing prices yesterday, Apple up 1.8%, Amazon down 0.25%, Google up 0.3%, Meta up 0.3%, Microsoft down 0.5%, NVIDIA down nearly 2%, and Tesla down 0.25%. So mixed reaction out of your Mag 7 stocks after the Fed announcement. Oh, what do we got on the economic calendar this morning?
All right. Well, with the FOMC behind us, a lot of that focus is going to be on housing and the employment situation. And we had the jobless claims come out this morning at 7:30 this morning. They were expecting the initial jobless claims to remain at 230,000. It came out lower than that at 219,000. Continuing jobless claims were also lower than expected. One of the bigger numbers today, I would say, is the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index came out positive for the first time in a while, indicating an upturn in manufacturing in the Philadelphia area. Came out 1.7. They were looking for minus 0.8, so a little bit higher there. At 9 o'clock this morning, we have existing home sales. This is going to be another interesting one moving forward. This is, of course, information from prior to the FOMC. We also have misleading indicators. Well, it's leading indicators, but we always called it misleading indicators on the trading floor. At 9:30, the EIA nat gas inventories is due out. 10:30 Central Chicago time. There are two bill auctions, a 4-week and an 8-week bill auction. There's a 10-year TIPS auction at noon. As far as the VIX is concerned, that's down about 9% this morning with the markets kind of rallying all night. 16.59 last I checked. At this time yesterday, it was 17.73. Dollar index, not much of a change from yesterday. Currently, last I checked, 100.85. It was 100.86 yesterday at this time. And the yield on the 10-year, actually a little higher than where it was yesterday morning at this time. 3.76% last I checked. Yesterday at this time, 3.68%. Yeah, we've got the Bank of England keeping rates as expected. The Bank of Japan, that rate is actually due out tonight at 10 p.m. Central Time. If you are in the markets, be aware of that, of course. And that's about it for economic numbers today, JD. What else you got?
Just a quick note. I see a message from support coming in right now. I don't have chat open, so I can't see if there's any grumblings of this going on, but there was an issue with account creation overnight that has been rectified. So if you had a problem with account creation overnight, that problem has been corrected. So everything is caught up now. You should be all good to go. So if you had an issue last night, if you still feel need to contact support, go ahead, but that issue has been cleared up.
Awesome.
Overnight, let's take a look at stocks in European markets. Currently trading higher this morning. We got the FTSE up 0.98%, the DAX up 1.61%, and the CAC up almost 2%. Big rally in Europe going on right now. Stocks in Asia closed higher overnight last night. Also, Shanghai Composite up 0.69%, Nikkei up 2.13%, and the Hang Seng up 2 full percentage points. Quick look at crude oil. We're open now. According to yesterday's EIA Petroleum Status Report, crude oil inventories fell to their lowest levels in a year last week over week. Inventories dropped by 1.6 million barrels to 417.5 million for the week ending September 13th. And at the Cushing, Oklahoma delivery hub, they said stocks fell by 2 million barrels last week. Cushing stockpiles have now dropped 10 of the last 11 weeks. That's according to Reuters right there. We're seeing some of those effects. We're seeing some of the effects of those numbers right now. This morning, crude oil futures were rallying overnight. We just opened up at 8 o'clock Central Time, and we are on new highs right now, trading at 71.08. Overnight high was 71.05. We breached that high just a minute ago, and trading on the highs as we speak. All right. What's our tip of the week, Hogue? Stay educated. Keep educating yourself. I think this goes far more beyond than just reading books, listening to gurus, watching Topstep TV. I mean, they say there's really no substitute for screen time when it comes to trading education. Being present when the markets are open, even if it's just being an active observer or trading a practice account, getting in front of the screen and watching nuance in the markets, taking a look at price action, reading the dome, getting a good feel for the market that you're trading, I think is very important. It goes a long way to maintaining an account for a long period of time. Hogue, we've been talking about this all week. What's new on the education front?
Well, we've been talking about educating yourself about markets. We've been talking about educating yourself about yourself. And I think you just really brought up a good point. You know, even if you're not actively trading, staying engaged in trading in a meaningful way can certainly help you continue to educate yourself. You know, if you're just going to be throwing trades on in a practice account, it's not going to be all that helpful. You want deliberate practice in a practice account. You want to take trades that you would be taking even if you had risk on, and just making sure that you're accounting for everything that you do in that practice account. You know, it's all this big encompassing thing in education. It's all about, you know, performing, reviewing, revising, and performing. Review, revise, perform, review, revise, perform. It's a learning loop. That you keep that education loop going. Keep journaling. Keep learning more about yourself. Keep learning more about how markets work. And with some good hard work, you can certainly improve your trading performance. Always good to educate yourself.
Yep. And if you're looking for a trading buddy to help you out, check out our Discord server. We've got close to 100,000 traders in there. I know we're over 70. We hit 70 a couple weeks ago, so we got to be close to 100,000 right now. You're going to find somebody in there. We've also got our coaching team in there all day long. Feel free to jump in there, bounce some ideas off people, and get some feedback. Nothing wrong with feedback. All right, we're burning time here, Hogue. Let's take a look at some charts.
Yeah, absolutely. So as always, we start with the daily in the S&Ps. The cycle of rate cuts has begun, and the markets are feeling very happy about that. Don't forget, in these equities, tomorrow is expiration. Rollover will be ending tomorrow and into Monday, so I'm sure we'll all be very happy about that. But looking at this chart, our recent lows, we've got a pretty decent rally coming here in the S&Ps, or continuing in the S&Ps. The September contract all-time high was 57.21 quarter. The December contract all-time high, 57.85 half. Seems traders have that in their sights this morning. We are set to open above the weekly kickoff high. I am looking for new business, new buying to come in and continue this move to the upside. We are really at all-time highs here in the S&Ps. We're going to find out how much of that 50 basis point cut was in the markets today, tomorrow, and into next week, as traders and investors digest what that all means to the marketplace. Take a look at the 30-minute chart. We had a very narrow range before the numbers came out yesterday. We rallied, hit weekly kickoff high, threw it by a couple of points, turned around, took out the lows, closed near the lows. But ever since last night, ever since we've opened this in the overnight, we've been seeing price continue to auction higher and higher. We are going to be opening with a gap above yesterday's high, which I'm seeing right here is 57.55.75. And then what does that mean? Well, it means that the market is attempting to continue to move higher, rejecting the range from yesterday. If we open with a gap and we can't close that gap, that's going to tell me that the market is showing signs of acceptance of higher pricing, and I'll be looking for opportunities for longs throughout the day. If we do come back in, sometimes we'll come back right down and check that gap close. That still can be a nice opportunity for an execution. It's not until we start to show acceptance inside value from yesterday where I start to think, okay, maybe we can pull back a little bit further. Overnight inventory is exceedingly long, but what are they looking for? They're looking for new buyers from longer time frames to come in and continue price action to the upside. If they get lucky, and we do see new business and new buying coming into this market, all of these longs from overnight are going to have a really nice fun day. If they start to get nervous, they may pull price back to cheaper levels to look for potential longs. It is going to be an interesting trading day. We'll watch what happens on the open, because we are opening with a gap and out of range and out of value. Better trade locations may occur very early in the session. Keep that in mind. Now on to the NASDAQ. Oh, one more thing about the S&Ps. We lost 58,000 in open interest yesterday. Now, remember, that is a function of rollover. That was probably not short covering. That was just people liquidating some of those positions. And there's approximately 591,000 left in the September contract. Typically, between 400,000 and 500,000 will settle in cash after expiration. So we're getting pretty close to the end of rollover, I would think. NASDAQ, daily chart, different story. S&Ps are already all the way up here, and NASDAQ has been very weak and lagging on all that. With that regard, weekly kickoff is below price. I mean, above price. We still haven't taken out weekly kickoff high. We've done that in the S&Ps. NASDAQ certainly seems to be lagging in that regard. We added 19,000 in open interest yesterday. Okay, well, that's kind of strange because we lost a whole bunch in the S&Ps. We added a bunch in the NASDAQ. It's a different rollover. It's a different situation. And overall, even though they are related, they are different markets. Look at where we put in the low recently, the 200 session moving average. Look at where we put in the lows for the last 3 days, the 100 session moving average. The 100 session and the 50 session moving average are now converged basically at 19, let's call it 570. And we're holding those from last night, and we're continuing to try and push higher. The 5% level off the September all-time high is something that there are going to be a lot of eyes on, and I'll be watching to see if we can maintain price above that level, 19,935. I know we've heard that number quite a bit, but I think there's still a lot of eyes on that off of the September all-time high. 30-minute chart. Well, look at this nice overnight rally we had here. Hopefully, of those that were trading in slow markets with Dakota, were able to get long, and or maybe they're still holding those longs. I think that would be fantastic. Overnight inventory, very long. Gap close would take us down to 19,900. Moving higher, the market is putting in new overnight highs as we speak. This is a trend to the upside. We have VWAP moving higher in both the S&P and the NASDAQ. I don't think I'll be trying to pick any tops in this today until there's some serious structure with which to lean on to do so. But we're still putting in new highs as we speak. So that trend is looking like it's going to be continuing at least until we get to the open. We'll see what the longer time frame and the major players are feeling like when we get there. Both profiles in the S&P and the NASDAQ ended up being neutral variation days, neutral days. In other words, there was a lot of price facilitation that occurred in the range from yesterday. If that facilitation of trade is used up, the market is going to go looking for new levels to facilitate trade, which it seems to be doing already here pretty steadily to the upside. What's the market's job? The market's job is to facilitate trade, and it seems to be seeking new levels to do just that. Now take a look at crude oil. It's still in rollover, okay? So we can't really depend on volume and open interest here just yet. We did lose 14,000 in open interest yesterday on an inside day, kind of a resting day, it looks like. But already we're seeing price continuing to move higher. JD was talking about some low inventories. Also, if we just cut rates, that's going to make money cheaper. People are feeling like the economy may be doing a little bit better than they were thinking, and that may increase demand in crude oil. So we've got the short time frame upside structure still intact. There is the potential for greater demand and low inventories. What's that mean? That means price is probably going to be going higher. Take a look at the 30-minute chart. I don't even think that they got the chance to lower gasoline prices at the pump before we started moving higher. All right, overnight inventory, long. We've opened with a gap. We're seeing the market probably getting a little bit nervous of some of these overnight longs, saying, okay, we're not seeing continuation here just yet. Let's lighten up on those positions, possibly giving us better trade locations for longs. The gap close would be down to 70.31. Not quite there yet. We've got VWAP above that, 70.45, 46, and we know all roads, just joking, would lead to VWAP. Maybe some decent opportunities as this market pulls back to look for cheaper longs. Again, if we get into range and value from yesterday, that's going to change that hypothesis. And we'll see how this plays out throughout the session. The profile yesterday, a normal variation day, neutral. Another day that the market used a lot of trade facilitation. The market currently seeking new levels to facilitate trade. If it doesn't bring new business up here, It could easily come back right into the range, right into settlement, and possibly even points lower. We do have an upside trend here, though, but nothing goes in a straight line forever. And we'll take a good look at gold here, because I think gold is a fascinating market. We saw a big rally after the FOMC came out, and boy, the sellers just came in and knocked this thing right back down. It has created an area of balance, and looking at last week's high, 26.1460 is the upper end of that balance. The lower end of that balance, 25.80 approximately. These are nothing is finite in futures trading. Every level we talk about is a zone. We're not suggesting the purchase or sale of anything at those zones. Those are just levels that we're looking at as areas of interest. So cheaper money, does that push price higher? And right now, we're kind of here in a digestive area. 1, 2, 3 days, pretty much in the same range, or at least in the same area. We added 1,000 in open interest yesterday. Nothing tremendous as far as changes in open interest. And of course, the volume was going to be higher, but not incredibly higher yesterday. Market may just kind of idle here, and you look for decisions by longer time frame traders as to what they're going to do with all this information. Take a look at the 30. Yeah. So we get this question a lot. Gold settles at 12:30 Central Time. So the settlement price, 25.9860, occurred before the FOMC number came out. The FOMC number came out. We saw the big rally. We saw the big break, and the market really kind of finished the day here on the 5 o'clock, right around here. We came in, we looked higher, we closed the gap we've been trying to close for a couple of sessions, tested down to this naked point of control, looked below, buyers came back in, overnight inventory was long, market has opened, it's taken us back into range and back into value. That is an overnight inventory adjustment if I've ever seen one. The market opened where? Down here around 25.85-ish. We looked lower. Buyers came in, shorter time frame buyers getting longer and longer. The market opens. It doesn't take out the overnight high. They get nervous. They liquidate a lot of those positions, which turns them into sellers. And where did it take us? It took us right back to settlement. There may actually be longs still holding from lower levels here because they're still in profit. If they don't find buyers coming in here inside yesterday's range, things can get a little bit dicey for the longs. I love the fact that it traded down to settlement. We still have VWAP pointing higher. We haven't really seen any 30-minute bars close below VWAP, so I'm still thinking, maybe there's an opportunity for some sort of a long here. I'm not sure where and when. Profile yesterday, very narrow profile. The market just sat there waiting for the FOMC, and then boom! The FOMC comes out and everything goes crazy. A lot of risk, a lot of potential rewards. Hopefully you all protected yourselves. Folks, take your deep breath. Stay humble, grateful, creative, and centered in your trading today. And by all means, today and every day, pray for peace. Let's have a good trading day today. All right. $5.
I'm here. Muted. Excellent analysis as always, Hogue. Big shout out to our friend JT in the chat. Today is his wedding anniversary. Congratulations on your anniversary, JT. Hogue, can you guess what JT got his wife for their wedding anniversary? I'll give you one guess.
I can't guess because I saw it earlier. But what a wonderful gift. What a wonderful gift.
JT gifted his wife a trading combine for their anniversary. Best of luck to the two of you. They say the family that trades together gets paid together. So keep watching and let us know how your progress goes on that. All right, stick around, folks. We got a great lineup for you coming up. Coming up on Fast Markets, folks sticking around. Jack's coming in on PLB here, and you got Anne-Marie Band. Everyone loves Anne-Marie. She's coming on for Fast Markets. Power players, we got Kevin Yu. He's going to be joined by Dolby. Shoulder Tap with Jack and Ben. Group coaching, myself and Hogue. This is the dynamic duo for group coaching today. We're going to pin a form in the chat in just a little while and make sure you get your questions in there. Then we've got Markets Talking with D. Deanne is going to be joined by Coach Jay, Robert, and myself. Then we're closing out the day in Power Hour with Andre, Jack, Hogue, and Francis Green. Another fan favorite, Francis Green, is going to be here. All right, stick around, folks. We're going to take a short break. We got a lot of more trader entertainment heading your way. Hogue, I will meet you at the kegerator, and we're going to get this day started. Let's make some money. All right.
Get your Fed chairs in the gate. We're ready, and we are open already. You know me, I'm John Hoagland. I'm playing Andre today. We've got Anne Marie, always the rose in the middle of two thorns, and the thorn on the other side is, of course, Jack Pelzer.
I'll take it.
Great to see everybody. We're already open. We've got gaps all over the place. What are we looking at here this morning, Anne Marie?
Well, it's definitely a buy the dip. Here's my thing. I put on my thinking cap about what I really think is happening and what I'm seeing price action do. So it's clearly buy the dip, and this combine I have here is up this morning, and it's because I simply went to the last 1 hour candlestick low and hit a buy in there. And literally, as long as we're holding the low of the prior 1 hour candlestick, it's going to trend to the north. And so, I'm looking at both the NQ and the YM. The NQ obviously has some room to run relative to the broad charts. It's still lower than it's been, but I do think it's a buy the dip space. We are out of range, out of value, so we might not need to overcomplicate it. What say you?
Well, the opening ranges currently are the high of the session. Now, that doesn't surprise me, Anne-Marie. We talk about this a lot. When we look at the price action from overnight, there's a lot of weaker hands longs in this market. So what I'm hoping for is we get some sort of inventory adjustment. We scare some of those longs out. They turn sellers. They give us better trade locations for potential longs. I'm really liking basically weekly kickoff high 57.50 in the S&Ps because we've got the VWAP, which is currently 57.52. If we get down there, it'll probably be right around 50. And we've got we've got yesterday's high. So a gap closed down to those levels. Looks like something that I might be very interested in taking a look at. Now, because we've opened out of range and out of balance, some of those trade locations, some of the best trade locations, may be likely to occur early in the session today. I was hoping to get a breakout to the upside from the opening ranges, maybe just to take an opening range trade to the upside. But I'm with you. I'm going to buy the dip mode here. I can almost hear Dakota saying, "Where do we buy it?"
Yeah. So something interesting that I've seen is that since Powell talked yesterday, the 10-year yields have actually been increasing, right? The ZN's been selling
I was
off.
going to ask you about that.
Yes, but now since about 7:30, looks like we had Philly Fed and jobless claims coming in a little bit lower than expected. It's kind of reversed course and gone back to the way we are accustomed to it lately, right? We're still steepening quite steadily in the 2s, 10s. So kind of a mixed bag there as far, it kind of goes with the stock sell-off yesterday and then just screaming so far to the upside. So I am in buy the dip mode as well, but as you guys alluded to, I'm kind of being patient for the time being. And we'll have to see what MP says when he shows up. He's probably furiously driving down the back roads right now, but I'm sure he'll be here soon.
Looks like we are ready to bring him in. He got off the back roads pretty quick there, Jack. Here he is, the man, the myth, the legend, the CEO, the boss. MP is now here with us. Great to have you with us there, MP. Good to see you this morning. Love the shirt.
Yeah, stripes. You never wear them when you're on camera, from what I heard. I'm testing that theory.
Well, I can only wear like vertical because they're slimming. They're slimming, yes.
Well, they're slimming and they make you're taller, all that kind of good stuff.
All right, happening? So we are off. We are on. We are open. We're just talking MP about looking for opportunities for longs, buy the dip kind of feeling here. It looks like that was the feeling all night long. And so we're just kind of being patient, looking for maybe a little bit of a deeper pullback, I think, to look for opportunities for longs. As far as levels are concerned, MP, I in the S&Ps, I love the 57.5 level, 57.50 even. That's the weekly kickoff high. It tested to yesterday after the FOMC came up, looked at it, fell apart. Now it's holding above it. If we get a move back to that level, it brings us right down to VWAP, which is tilted to the upside. I'm looking at that as an interesting level for an execution. I'll be keeping an eye on our team levels here, and we'll see if we can get some good information there. But we're already in zone 1 in the S&P and in the NASDAQ. So we're up near highs here, and we'll keep an eye on those levels as well. Looks like we've got 57.50 as resistance yesterday and support today, possibly. That's the weekly kickoff high. That's Coach Vince mentions that number. 57.55, we've got Coach Jay saying that is the high of the FOMC reaction. I know he'll be hawking that level in that area as well. Yeah, we'll see how things play out. How you feeling today, Michael?
I'm feeling great.
I'm sorry.
Looking at you guys. I'm feeling great. I was looking at you guys long yesterday. I actually liked the long yesterday when you guys were talking it out at the end of the day. You were at around the 5603s, 5703s, ish twos. It did flush out at the very end, but then look at how high we are.
Right. Yeah. If we could just hold them. We only
showed up late.
Something to keep in mind here is I like to look at the spot market because that's what, a lot of the action is. And the SPX is currently, we opened way into the all-time high territory, right? The highest close previously was back in July. Tuesday, July 16th was the high close. Yesterday, we were bouncing off that or just getting a little bit above and rejecting, I think, 5 times in the SPX for the sell-off. So I am going to be very interested. Well, I am interested in buying to see if we can close that gap to, I believe the previous all-time high close in the SPX was 5670 or thereabouts. The premium is like 50 or 60 points. I'll have to calculate that for the December contract. But momentous day if we can hold these levels until close. All-time highs. Nick, if you're out there, blow an air horn.
Yes, we need the air horn.
So the question, John, is if you think it's a short term, if you think that they're short-term traders that have been buying up the bottom, do we suspect that what we're going to end up seeing is any little weakness might push them out? Or do we think that if any little weakness doesn't grow into bigger weakness, then it's a bigger signal for more upside?
I think that we're already seeing a degree of an inventory adjustment because we were unable to continue the move after the open. So you have all these weaker hands longs in the market, and they're looking to the 8:30 open to see if they see longer time frame buyers coming into the market that would probably perpetuate price higher and continue to pay them on all those longs. But the weakest hands are the first ones that are going to be out. And I think we're seeing the weakest of the hands right now pulling off that overnight high. If we start getting a little bit deeper, then some of the longs that are holding those longs at better prices might start to get a little bit nervous. And that's when we may see a deeper pullback to the downside, which I'm hoping for because we're all kind of in a buy the dip mode. And I'm looking to that 57.50 weekly kickoff high, which was resistant yesterday, to be support. If we get a chance down there, I like that level. I don't know how you guys feel about it. There's a couple of people that have mentioned that area in the daily levels. Not seeing too much information here coming in on our daily levels in the Discord, but as the day comes and continues, I'll be keeping an eye on that to see if anybody's kind of agreeing on that level. So far, there's a lot of eyes that seem to be down at that level on many different kind of analyses, let's say.
So what time frame should we be looking at together for execution?
Well, I'm usually kind of looking at the 30-minute, and if I see an area that I'm really looking for, if we get down to that 57.5 level, and then I'll put it on a 5-minute chart and start to look for one of Dakota's three bar reversals, 2, any kind of basing that seems to be occurring there, and see how market reacts there. If it rejects it quickly, that might be something that we're going to have to respond to quickly.
Okay, Jack, what are you?
I
just want us to be focused in the same place. So
yes.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to do right now, if I don't kill my connection computer, is to fire up my options stuff because we do have quarterly options expiration coming up tomorrow. So that could be big on sort of levels that become sticky in the next 24 hours and change in things like the stock indices. So I'll let you know what I find.
Till was when we were down 5 handles lower in the S&P and about 50 handles lower in the NASDAQ. It was minus 68%, 75%.
Mhm.
68 to 73-ish, around there. That's what I caught, but it could have been more. And they
Yeah, see,
wiped out all those weak shorts.
Mhm. Look at the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's putting in highs now.
Exploding. So
Yes.
for the NAS, as you guys know, I use Mentor Q option data for the gammas. And what we have this morning, particularly with the Qs, is all the option traders that sold on these upper strikes are flat-footed.
Yes.
And so we've got, it's hitting all the call resistance levels for 0 DTE, and that is making them have to buy the index as well as roll up the short call, and that could propel us just a wee bit more. I see 20,111 and then 20,242 if it exhausts. But because we know this is an option generated move, it's going to stall out once they've gotten their deltas in balance, and then they're going to unwind. So I'm looking in this move, because I see that it's option generated, everybody flat-footed having to buy the index and roll the calls. I'm looking for it to exhaust. And so that might happen in the next 15, 20 minutes is my thought.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do have more numbers coming out at 9 o'clock, existing home sales and
great.
misleading indicators at 9 o'clock. 4 and 8 week bill auction at 10:30 Central Chicago time. 9:30 the nat gas numbers due out, but I don't really trade nat gas that much. But just for those who do, we got 4 and 8 week bill auction at 10:30, 10-year tips auction at noon, and that's going to be pretty much it for economic numbers today. If you take a look in the upper left corner of your screen, it says hashtag fast markets. Hashtag send us pictures on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. We'll put them out there near the end of fast markets so you guys can all see all the great stuff that you are doing. Show us your P&L, show us memes, show us anything you want, as long as we can put it on screen, and we will look forward to seeing those. Those are always a lot of fun. And boy, the NASDAQ sure was looking strong there for a minute. The S&P is far weaker. It is continuing to push down to those levels that we looked at.
And here's the really interesting things. It blew out of an early morning level at around, I'm using TradingView to populate these gamma flows, at 57.31. It blew out, and then it blew out past the next gamma line at 57.50. And remember, when the lines blow out, when the traders get into that area and they start buying, instead of having everything die on the vine, it forces them to enter the market, because all of a sudden they're upside down. And so we see this great big push up, and it goes for 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, and now it's fading. It's going to go right back into that gamma line that we're looking at around 57.50 and some change. That's also really close to the Tokyo high. So that might be a place where we collapse into that 5-minute time frame and look for a potential reversal event to see if the next group of buyers hop in. We could sit there. So
that's yet another level of confluence at that 57.50 level.
Yep.
Right.
Which right around here, we are just around 5,700, 56.97 in the SPX right now. So big fat round number in the spot market. If we start going lower from here, Anne-Marie was talking about the options hedging. I presume I wasn't able to fire up my stuff, unfortunately, but I presume that there are a lot of options at that strike point in the SPX.
Absolutely. It's a huge number. It's a huge number. So here are coming down into it. Let me move my...
72% short. Sorry, guys. I had forgot my phone
Yeah, I see
outside.
that. Oh,
Yeah. Let me go to a 2-minute and see if I can see any buying starting to come in there.
yeah. This is the gap close right here to the session high from yesterday. Right back to weekly kickoff low here. We do have some some confluence down here.
Yep. And the VWAP is also there.
Right here. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to try a long.
Okay.
I just tried a small long, one contract, see if it gets traction.
Where are we at?
57.
S&Ps.
Yeah.
And what are we looking for in the S&Ps? You got long 57.
57.50.
Yeah.
VWAP is
57.
55. Yesterday's high is 55.
Yeah, so it's
Nice spot
bouncing
there.
right off of that. Yep. Nice.
Yes.
So now we just have to see how much strength is sitting in here, or if they have another leg of unwinds that are going to push them further into the heavy congestion, because we've got
And Murray, for the house account, where would you say the risk is on a long here?
So I normally will use an hourly candlestick formation. So let me go back to my hourly chart here. And here's the thing. This first pass move has got to start climbing up the wall of worry very quickly, or else it's going to get into trouble, right? Because we know we've got all kinds of cross currents going. Risk-wise, I think it's, 57.45. It's not very much. I mean, we came in and just clipped it. The problem is if we don't make a new high, or if we make a lower high on this candlestick on the run, and we don't hold any pressure there, we're going to break the 57.50 and we're going to start moving into the Tokyo, the range of Tokyo or London low, which is, London low is right at the open, about 57.33. So I'm going to flatten this for, $300 or whatever, simply because.
Did you get 55s, Ann?
I got,
Took no heat on that.
55, 55 and a quarter.
Okay.
We kind of
so
I'm gonna be
closed the gap there to the very highs after Powell spoke yesterday, and kind of
Yep.
back.
That's what we're looking at right now too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a lot of confluence at that level. We got weekly kickoff low, 57.50. The high from the release yesterday, 57. What was it? 55.75.
So
Yeah.
Jan and John and
57.55.
Ann. Jan.
I'll go with that.
John and Ann. Hey,
That's
Jan.
my mom's name. That's my mom's name.
John, what Ann said about her long, what's others in the universe of trust saying?
Okay. So on the daily levels, there's yesterday's high, it's at 57.55. That was the high off the FOMC. That's a J level, is that high off the
Order
FOMC
filled.
reaction. 57.50 is weekly kickoff high. Vince has it on here as resistance. I would call it support because it wasn't resistant yesterday. That's pretty much where the buyers ran out after the
Also-
FOMC meeting yesterday. Went 5
Also
points through it and then
Tokyo high.
fell apart. So now we're getting back down to this level.
And you still have your 55s on, or
No,
whatever the.
I clipped him.
Okay.
I clipped him off.
Good for you. Nice trade.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I think what we're looking for here, Michael, is if we can put some sort of basing in here down around 57.50, maybe see a 3-bar reversal on the 5-minute chart, then we go long. I'm not into jumping into this right now. I think we still got a lot of overnight longs that are starting to get more and more nervous now.
Exactly.
Yeah, all the volume just came in now, right? In this,
Yes.
since the 8:30 open. If you look at the volume since the close yesterday, it's not much, right?
Yep.
So see money take money on the longs.
There's a scalp trade there, but I have no idea how much it'd be good for, simply because nobody's shown up. I mean, I'm looking at a 2-minute price chart and I'm still making lower highs and lower lows.
That being said, the Mag 7 is still loving it. Apple up 3%, Amazon 1.5, Google 1.1, Meta 1.7, Nvidia up 3.8%. We're back. Rates are lower.
Yeah, all is well.
All is well.
I it's pretty interesting. It feels like I was just on my LinkedIn. I barely ever look at it, but when I was looking at it, I've seen a lot of people like either not hiring or we just laid off our incredible creative marketing team, blah, blah, blah. If you're looking for a great team, connect with me. Like laying off or pruning up or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't seem as
right sizing.
Right side, yes.
Yeah. You want to be a real Silicon Valley guy. That's what you say.
Oh, yeah. Or a Wharton grad. Or a Wharton grad that used to run Topstep. Said right sizing.
I'm going to pull my tinfoil hat out and put it on and say I believe that these rate cuts are a colluded event to help support the commercial real estate space that has been struggling really a lot, and also to give these guys time to unwind and refinance, because there's definitely a linchpin there that just needs to get worked on. So I don't see deflation or lowering inflation. So my thought is that that's what it's for.
Yeah, we have about 5,000 people in here. So what do you guys think? Are you guys seeing the labor market start to, what do you start seeing? Is it cooling off? Are you seeing people hiring in your neighborhood, your community, laying off, or forcing a synthetic layoff, which is come back to work 5 days a week, 9 to 5.
We could run our own. Hey, this is the first time I'll ever do this. How about a poll? We can run our own unemployment non-farm right now. All we need is a poll that says
we should run our own non-farm.
Wait, we might need 2 polls. It's going to be, because we have to ask the question, are you employed or looking for a job? Or are you not looking for a job? So if we do that in one, it would be, are you employed? Are you not employed but seeking work? Or are you just not seeking work?
I like this.
We'll think. I'll write it. And
do a poll on the fly. I like it. I know at Topstep, we're not really hiring that much right now. We went on this crazy. We hired 100 people in a year. Or something like that. It was bananas. And a lot of that had to do with
we did not just let go of our awesome creative team.
No. I actually did read that one. I'm like, I wonder who these people are, if they're any good. Bring them on ours. But in general, we did a little. We're still growing really, really strong and fast. But a lot of ours had to be hired because of our technology and our stack and supporting. We wanted the level of support to be maintained at scale. I used to be a support rep when I first started. So I would answer emails and phone calls and all that kind of stuff and help people, when it was a band of one. But then having that support, so that's what we did. And now we have a whole new tech stack that's getting rolled out by like November. It was October, but it'll probably be like November 1st. They don't want to rush it since our support response times are like absolutely kick ass right now. No delays. Almost instantaneously, and we're going to have a better technology to sit on and help support all of our traders. So that being said, I say, hey, we're all talking in the leadership team. We're like, we're not hiring and we're stopping. And that's really when it comes to that. And then other departments, we're not really hiring out right now. Engineers, marketing team, no. Small stuff, social help and things like that. But that's us. That's my little, I'm trying to give a sneak peek on 170 employees and a company that's, making an impact.
Here, I'm going to kill that poll. The wording is very important here if we're going to make this scientific.
We're 10 points off 7.5 now. I think we're seeing buyers coming in down there.
Yeah.
We got those 50s down there. Those were who was talking about that
gold.
one, that area? That
Ton of us. Yeah.
All of us.
A lot of us saw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
What describes your employment situation, Jack? You were just creating this is a clinic you're putting on right now.
Yeah.
Because I think that's how the question's asked. You don't count if you have to be actively seeking a job and unemployed to be counted as unemployed.
This is very, very cool. Creating our own non-farm payroll poll.
Now, the statisticians would say that this is very skewed by sample, but interested to see what y'all are doing.
How about this? We'll be in the ballpark. We don't need to be on center field. You don't even need to be on the pitcher's mound right there. Be in the ballpark.
Also, 40% of our audience isn't in the United States, but this is still interesting.
Seriously, 40%?
Maybe 30, something like that.
I put unemployed but actively seeking a job. I accidentally clicked that when I went to go unemployed. Just let you guys know I'm unemployed and I'm actively seeking. So you have a buddy.
Gonna pick up some shifts there, Michael.
Yeah, pick up some night shifts. I used to work nights and trade. Nights as a bartender, trade during the day. In my 20s, I could do it. No chance I could do it anymore.
Can't do it now. Not a chance.
No, John, you
Yeah,
had that experience. A lot of people in Chicago, you would have it take a lot of pressure off. Don't quit your day job or get a second income stream is always nice. Takes pressure off you feel like you have to make money.
For sure.
Well, those 757 halves, 5750s are looking pretty good now.
I know. So, John, I'm was there a play there that Ian was out, so she wasn't in, and she's on air spotlight. But then also you're everybody you said the 50s too. So I'm going to be a little more on my.
We're seeing basing down there. There still could be some opportunity down here.
Yeah. Plus, we're really.
We didn't get that 3-bar reversal, right, Ann?
It didn't. It just turned around and started rocketing back up.
That's what we were looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a good. What do we think about the fact if we take a look at something and we go, oh my gosh, everybody's seen the number, we put a small size in with a tight stop that sort of dips our toe in the water.
Yep.
Because literally every single one of us saw that number.
Yep.
What I really liked about it was the limited risk on it. We were only, we could risk 5 or 6 points if we bought it right at 757.50.
Thank you, Hoop. Do we have a number right now?
Yes, we do. Existing home sales and misleading indicators. I'll let you know here. Leading indicators. Well, existing home sales down 2.5%. They were looking for 3.9 million, came out 3.86 million. That doesn't sound like 2.5%, but leading indicators up 0.2%. They were looking for down 0.3%.
So a nothing burger, essentially.
Pretty much.
Well, we got another hot number off the wire, and that I closed that poll and calculated it, and the Topstep unemployment index is currently at 20%.
Interesting.
Hmm.
What do you mean?
Well,
What
that
describes
sort of
your
makes
employment?
sense in terms of the skew, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
well, that was just interesting to see. Thank you for humoring us there.
Unemployed but not actively seeking. So 34% of people are unemployed and not actively seeking a job. So does that mean only the people that did the poll are unemployed but actively seeking a job?
Yeah.
Does that mean
so
you are a full-time trader?
Yeah,
Full-time
they're making money
singer, or-
trading.
There is a lot. There are people. Well, yes,
it could.
yes, there
just-
are because
just-
we share it all the time. But on social, there's just seen more than I ever have ever seen.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's the
Almost
way
like-
non-farm works,
Yeah.
right? There's a couple of numbers. You only count, so the 20% there comes from the people that are unemployed and actively seeking, divided by them plus the people who are employed. So there's two parts. When you see those NFP numbers, the unemployment rate only applies to people. You are only counted as unemployed if you are unemployed but actively seeking a job. And some things that have caused distortions in that is now, and I don't know if anyone knows exactly what it is, but there is ample opportunity right now to, I'll call it work, as in it definitely is work, but not probably employed in the general sense of like you can always do DoorDash or I was going to say YouTube there. Only the best can do YouTube. DoorDash,
Yeah,
Uber,
YouTuber.
Lyft.
You're encouraging people to go be a YouTuber. What?
That's listen. If you're down on hard luck,
Turn
Go to
that
YouTube.
camera on.
turn that
Just-
camera on.
So unemployed are not, I mean, retired are not necessarily unemployed.
No, they're not. They don't count.
No.
As part of the
Because-
that's the labor force participation rate is the other part of it. Hey, that website you're mentioning there, OnlyFans, I just saw paid out $6.6 billion to its creators last year.
No way. Six
Holy
And the
Yeah.
billion in what?
Yeah, it's big.
A year?
It's huge.
6.6 billion, and I believe the entire salary cap of the NBA is what I saw. Yearly.
Hold on. Like from inception, like the start of OnlyFans, or like last year, or the quarterly, or this year.
No, I think like last year.
Holy bananas!
I would say I'm not surprised.
I've never been on there, and we don't have to go on it. But like, what is it? Just like a Skinamax?
Is this where Andre
type
is
stuff?
today? This is where Andre is.
Why do you say that? That's
Andre's
exact. No. Is
It's
it
all
all
sorts of
that,
stuff.
or is it?
Yeah, it's all
also-
kinds of things, apparently. I mean, the only people I see highlighted are, generally porn
Yeah.
stars. But, I mean, we know that industry
So you've been on
is alive. No.
Do they have like a payout leaderboard, like the most paid out, and then what they do? That'd be kind of
Oh my
Sort
goodness.
of, because they do. They rank. They rank their
They do?
top folks. Yeah, I heard this through the grapevine, of course.
They're trying to push Michael into they want to get away from that pure association with that. So I see that they always highlight creators like, hey, this person's given their cooking tips on OnlyFans, presumably to make it a little bit of a cleaner thing. So maybe we could have a Topstep OnlyFans. Not to do
what it
anything-
was it meant to be like a
It was
nasty
porn.
site, or was it meant to be like, hey, check out how I cook my eggs kind of thing?
no. Everything on
it's
the internet
an
begins
expression
with
of your
porn.
art, John. It's
Yeah.
an expression of your art. That's what it came out to be.
Well, I just looked it up, and the top 3 earners of 2024 in OnlyFans, 2 of the top 3 do not make pornographic material.
There you go. It just gets a bad name. Okay.
I'll look into it, Michael. We're going to make this happen.
Just gets a bad
Number
day.
two.
Very interesting.
Number 2 is Cardi B. Number 3 is Iggy Azalea. And number 1 is someone named Bella Thorne. I don't know.
Oh,
but
yes, yeah.
she
Bella,
directed some
yes,
of those
she's
movies.
she's from the adult film industry. Bella Thorne. I actually I know.
I plead the
that name.
fifth.
Wouldn't have guessed that it was me and Ann that knew that. All right, what are we doing in the markets?
All right, speaking of markets, we are 21 handles higher from that nice
I wish I had
area
gotten
where
out.
everybody was liking, and I did nothing in the house account.
There's more chances coming. There's
Yeah.
more
Always more
chances.
chances. This is an opportunity-making machine, Johnny.
Absolutely.
Makes opportunities every day. You just got to find them that fit you.
There's a lot of stalling. You know, the NQ is in a little bit of a stall. It's trying to break higher, but it's got itself a little bit of a stall. The YM is definitely stalling. So maybe we'll see a good topping formation near the value area high. What do you have for value area high in the ES?
Today's
Yeah.
73 and a quarter.
Oh, yeah. Mine here says 77, but I think I maybe have a day and a half of data sitting on there. So, yeah. Might want to short that.
The S&P still has the opening range at the dead ass high of the day.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to put a limit order right in between our two numbers at 775.
So you're looking for a short there?
Short, yeah. I just put it up. We're coming into the point of control, so it's going to be noisy around there. So we might,
Yes.
it might. I mean, it looks pretty good.
So Michael, Emery's looking at a short, and the S&P is up at 57.75, which brings us back into the opening range, but does not take out the high of the opening range. High of the opening range is 79 and a quarter. That is pretty much your risk if we're gonna take out the high of that opening range.
Yeah.
After it was left at the dead high, you probably don't want to be short anymore unless we create some sort of failed upside auction. But we're not going to find that out for 20 minutes here, if we even get a failed auction up there. So you're looking tops 10 points of risk.
I think there's a short building in the YM here too. What's everybody talking about? I mean, the numbers. What's everybody thinking about short action up there?
All right.
I don't even know if it's going to come to us.
Well, Coach Jay was talking about that 750 level again. He said if we can't hold that, the 730 level, yesterday's iceberg area, can easily be interesting. If you remember, we saw those big iceberg orders there yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that's also Europe open. That's the region for Europe's open. So I like it.
Would you say the chop is over right now? You got the Fed that just did their thing. You got roll is happening right now.
Right.
I don't think so.
You can still get wicked out.
My thought.
You know, it's so funny. And Pierce, congratulations, buddy. I'm at the driving range yesterday, and while I'm hitting the ball 10, 20 feet, this is just me hating on myself because I just get worse and worse as I play. The ball guy, or the guy that kind of picks up the balls in the cart, whatever that drives it, and they put it like that.
Trying to hit him.
By, stop. What's up, Michael? Like, you can't really tell inside of there. And they're like, Pierce? Like, yeah, what's up? I hooked up all the bad guys that put bags on your carts and all that kind of stuff, and do all the stuff around the course with all an account. I said, hey, you guys are going to all be on here, and I want to see how you guys do. So when I come down here, I can talk to you guys, and we can talk shop. And 2 guys took me up on it out of 10. It's free ride, guys. Try something out. So tuning in. Yeah. So Pierce got funded, and he's so stoked. He got up to $4,000 in his funded account. And he had texted me this like the day before. I'm like, hey, how'd you do? He's like, man, I got $100 left. Like, take it easy. Take it easy. The fact that you got funded, I'm proud of you because you just started trading. And he's like, I'm doing this. In ICT, if you're listening, he's like, do you know ICT? I'm like, yeah, I know ICT. We've invited him on here. I would love to get him on here. So, Michael, if you'd like to come on here. He's like, yeah, I'm looking at his concepts and they're interesting and just love Topstep TV and all that kind of stuff. He's like, but I only got $100 left. And now I'm kind of like in this, like, I don't know what to do stage. I go, welcome to trading. Slow down. Don't worry about it. You were just at 4,000. You just got funded. You're doing a hell of a job. Keep jabbing away. And it's just fun to see somebody start from totally new. And now he's talking about psychology and reading psychology books. And I'm like, there you go. I go, you're going to have fundamentals, or not fundamental, technicals and all that. They're pretty obvious right there. You can see them. But getting your upstairs and then your risk management and then controlling your behaviors, managing your emotions, controlling your behaviors is going to keep you from making real stupid mistakes. You're going to be feeling like you want to pull the trigger all the time. He's like, yeah, today. He's like, before the FOMC. He's like, and then I was like, no, I heard you guys doing that too. I'm like, okay, cool. So that was just really cool. And then I went back to slicing and chopping the ball away. But yeah. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Maybe he can help you with your golf game.
Yes. That would be a good horse trade right there is what they call it.
Right. All right. It is 9:45. No current positions. Just taking a look here at that crude oil, overnight longs, a little bit of adjustment, closing the gap, kind of falling into range bound, pretty much centered around VWAP. We've got gold. Overnight longs. All right. Well, another inventory adjustment right back to settlement. We haven't moved since we were on the opening call in gold. We're still sitting right here at settlement. And we're hawking trades here in the S&Ps and in the NASDAQ. The S&P and NASDAQ pretty much 50-50 as far as the tilt is concerned. 58% long in the NASDAQ. Nothing impressive there. Nothing all that impressive really in. And we were short 61% in crude, but still very range bound and centered on VWAP. So probably not much to do there. We got 15 minutes until the nat gas numbers come out. And we usually will have a little bit of news coming up here, right, Jack?
Yeah. If we have a spare minute here, I could shout out a little news.
Love it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Being on, got to open these real quick. We got some hot news. First, the Fed Watch tool is back online. Now, for the November meeting, we have a 67% chance, so about 2/3 to 1/3, 2/3 for quarter point, third for a half. I thought as long as I was here, I would talk a little bit about where these numbers come from, because this is interesting and really an option for degenerates that I had no idea existed. Okay. They come from the SOFR futures, which stands for Secured Overnight Financing Rate. We go to the next chart that I sent you here. This is an example, essentially, those futures yesterday. So this is the 1 month future for that. You can see here that big spike is the Fed release, because it essentially goes from it becomes a binary option at that point. Essentially, you're either right or you're wrong, and it's going to adjust there. But you can see how the probability was rising. You see over the last week or so, the higher this was going, the higher the implied probability of a 50 basis point cut versus a 25 cut. So I don't know. Just for me, maybe we add the Secured Overnight Financing Rate futures to Topstep. Just for me.
That'd be nice. Michael, speaking of adding that, Michael Hurton, any update on Eurex? We're talking to Eurex. We had a call with them on Monday or Tuesday. Danny did. So we're going to try to get that Eurex data in here. They're making strong moves to get in front of more Eurex retail. I don't like the word retail. Retail traders. There's institutional retail, so I guess
More U.S. traders, I would think, right?
that too. DAX would be great.
Yeah.
All that stuff we're working on. Then the group with building out Topstep X knows that this is a high priority item that we want. So we're working on that.
Excellent. Far more important news, too, is that we have some baby animal news that is sweeping the internet. Why does Pesto, record-breaking baby penguin, have TikTok in a frenzy? Well, I will tell you why. At 9 months old, Pesto weighs 46 pounds, making him the largest chick that Australia has seen. Let's take a look at this unit. We have another picture here. Look at this.
Huh.
He hasn't
Size
even
of a
lost his crown.
This is a future number one overall pick right here in any
Holy
penguin sport.
smokes.
And because we missed it before, sumo.
wrestling.
This penguin's going to beat the shit out of seals. I can see it coming. Although he's in a zoo, so it probably won't happen. Also, we missed when it came out. The baby pygmy hippo Mudang from Thailand has the internet in a storm too.
100%.
If you make a bad trade today and you need something to mellow you out, a little eye bleach, as people call it, go look up some pictures of Mudang because
Eye bleach. I've never heard that.
it
It's
was
so
hard.
cute. I want
Yeah,
one
it
of
was
those.
hard to pick. It was hard to pick. Well, okay, Pablo Escobar. It's hard to pick
They were
just one picture of Mudang. So go online now, go to your Google and check out some Mudang pics.
Yeah.
That's our news.
He did
for
not
now.
have a hippo, Jack.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
That's why. Yeah, that's why there's still true story. That's why Colombia has a problem with like some hippos that are still in the jungle because they escaped from Pablo Escobar's private zoo.
Really? Hey, I have these 75s working right now. Should I still keep them going? What do we like?
Anne Marie, what do you like?
You guys are talking
Mine is still sitting there.
at 75 or you?
Yeah, it's 75 and a quarter.
All right, so
75 and
if
a quarter.
because we've been thinking buy the dip all day, if we do take a short, it's see money, take money.
Yep. Totally agree.
How much risk?
Maybe 2 ticks over the 3 ticks over the.
Pesto? What's it?
The
Alright,
high of the session.
Yeah. Well, maybe 4 ticks. I don't know. What do we need?
I say 81.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That's good.
Jack,
That's
is
6
Pesto
points of
the name
risk.
of it?
Mudang is the name of the hippo. Pesto's the penguin. I don't.
I just found out
yeah.
Topstep spelled backwards, and I haven't done this ever. Is pet spot. I don't know why I'm putting that pesto and pet spot because I'm like, is that Topstep spelled backwards? Because I saw that yesterday.
It's your next
Never really
business.
put
A pet store.
some useless information for you.
Okay, that's hilarious.
All right, we're short 5 from a quarter, 75 quarter.
All right.
We have another 76 working there. Ann, are you in? I take it.
I am.
Got
I
it.
am. I'm also short. I'm also short the YM.
57.63 or thereabouts in the ES is the 57. I'm dyslexic. 57.63 or thereabouts is about what the SPX 5700 level is, and I think that could be kind of sticky. I don't know how far we want to advance against it. There's nothing but calls for tomorrow above that. There's no puts, so
I was scaling into that with a bunch of 5 lots, but I only got hit on the first 5.
Uh-huh. All right.
Where's our risk on that one more time, John?
81. NASDAQ's putting in new highs.
Yep, I see that.
Tesla and Nvidia both up over 5%. Apple 3.6%. Those are the leaders there in the Mag 7.
What's see money, take money on a move?
Well, I would say if we're risking 6, we take 6. Or at least take 4 off at 6, leave a runner on just in case.
Yeah.
I'm thinking shorts are brave as well. Very often we think, all right, we're buying dips, and then we end up taking a move in the opposite direction. We're such reversion traders.
Yep.
I'm just feeling them often around here. Just touched it. We took no risk on that. Yeah, no, we have. Where's my position?
Leave a runner just in case.
Yeah, we have 3 on. Well, good read thus far, guys. Whoa.
So far, so good. Point of control is 63.75.
Yeah.
TPO point of control.
VWAP is 58.
When it's going your way, you never have enough on. When it's going against you, you have too many.
Yeah.
Dad's wisdom.
Right. Yeah.
And especially, I think there could be some
Zero risk.
support here in the low 5760s.
Yep.
In the low.
Zero
That's
heat.
what I was
We took
mentioning.
Zero heat.
Yeah.
Zero heat. Somebody got ticked out on their stop. They're short. And then we got our short in.
Yep.
The tick. Sucks to be them. 400 times.
Michael, I could hear my dad saying that as you were saying it.
Right.
Going your way.
The one who taught me that one.
Never have enough on.
So we're seeing some buying come in. Anybody looking at the dome at about 57.70? See if what folks are doing around there. It feels like people are trying to hit the bid at around 68 and some change. What are we seeing?
Sorry, I just lost $9 there. Trying to click on the wrong thing.
So we're still short from.
There may be some bids being placed down there at 68.5. There's 5,674 contracts that traded there in the regular trading hour session. Just under 500 of them were on the bid. So maybe a little bit of just putting in some small bids. It's not a huge iceberg or anything. The next level higher is 70. And there's no icebergs there. A lot of volume, a lot of liquidity right there, but nothing directional as far as I can see as far as Delta's concerned.
Okay.
Overall, Delta, we're negative 10,000. That I think is a little congruent because we're up near the highs, and that to me says we may squeeze some shorts here.
Yep. I'm flat.
Out of this trade.
Yeah, I went flat at 70. I just saw all the buyers coming in at 68, and I was like, I don't like that. Because we're running very counter trend.
5 minutes to Nat Gas going out here. For you Nat Gas traders.
All right. I just kept one on
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
and we are making lower highs and lower lows, to be sure, on the 30-minute for the ES. So, I mean, there's the ability to track. There's a low volume node of 57.46. There's, I mean, all kinds of places that it could fade. This whole market's got me very
kerfuffled.
Right? I'm the cat that I saw a hilarious video of a cat on a counter coming up to a toaster and then the toaster pops and the cat just goes absolutely bananas.
Bang.
But that's how I feel the market has me right now. I'm just
Funny when you scare a cat, they go straight up in the air.
yeah, that's what this one did.
And you use the word bananas. I have in my 45 years have not used this word as consistently as I ever have or done in my life. And 2024 is like the year of bananas. I don't know. I hear it all the time. I hear it all the time. Bananas.
Yeah, it is bananas. I'm not really sure where that term ever came up because, bananas by themselves, they're just kind of chill.
Well, back in the day, it's like, oh man, he's bananas. Like he's crazy.
Yeah.
Now it's just like all things awesome.
Yeah. All right. I wonder if I want to take this one again. Maybe I'll wait. See if that 77 comes in. 770. Oh,
wow.
There it goes. Boom.
There it goes.
Wow.
Short squeeze.
That's a number, yeah.
Wow. I just thought that was like
that was impressive.
2 handles away and just like a NASDAQ ripped through our stop on that one lot.
We just lost 3,000 on that negative delta on that. That was all stops.
Wow. Okay, so one of the numbers I talked about this morning is here in the NQ. It is, man, my internet is the worst today. It's 20,117. It just crossed over that, and now it's at this 26 number. So let's see if it does anything.
Well, good cover there, Michael.
Oh, just following the lead of smarter folks than I.
Quick decisions. I love it.
Yeah. They got to be made in these markets. It's just insane. What's oil doing today?
Let's take a look-see.
You got a bunch of noise in the background here. My landscapers, we've been canceling them for like 2 weeks straight because it's been so dry. We don't need anything, the grass is not growing. They always come on Friday. They came on Thursday. They got
Lance, listen, if you live in Florida, you cannot get away from them because there's either hedge clippers, edge trimmers, big lawnmowers. They're everywhere all the time. You cannot get rid of them.
Wow, we're trading 80s now. Wow, 80,
yeah,
81.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the world of trusted folks saying right now?
Beep, beep, beep,
82
beep,
half.
beep.
Or sorry, 57,
Just heads up,
80 even. We're in the S&Ps.
We got an EIA natural gas report coming out in 1 minute, less than 1 minute. Just a heads up, guys.
Oh, yeah!
Thanks, JD.
Hey, CD. Let me see what they're saying here.
And
Well, yeah, a lot of focus around that 5750 level, earlier. My music man was pointed out that there was a weak high against the overnight session and the regular trading hour session. We just took that out.
I mean, how genius would you look as a trader to get into that? Who don't lie, please. Who got into the 5750s down there when we were saying, and who's still sitting?
yeah, that's the thing. Are you still sitting
Karma,
there?
You
the trading
disgust
world
me.
will come back and bite you.
New highs.
We had the December contract all-time high at 57.85 half.
What's
Get ready with the air horn.
Oh,
No, who's holding it still? If you got long down there, I got long at this price, still holding it, still holding the 2 lot. Whatever. That would be sweet. Just to stay here and listen. You could have sat here, listened, and kicked your feet up on your desk. That's how nice that just slow grind
That
up.
was a very sweet trade.
Way harder said than done.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
oh, we took out the
100%.
contract high there by a quarter point, just a tick.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Look at that. Wouldn't that be incredible? Oh, someone's about to feel like a champ or an idiot. 48 contracts traded there.
30
Wow.
handles.
ES
no
has the
heat on that
opportunity to do the funniest thing ever right now.
Somebody talking right now? Is this just all stops being run from?
I think so. If it were me to say, I think so.
When we had that deep negative delta, when we were short that 5 lot or 3 lot or whatever we had left, and I said, I'm out on this because that deep negative delta was short time frame traders coming in today trying to sell this thing, trying to knock it down, and they just got run
Smashed.
over. Yes, they
So-
did.
so
So
play-
now,
Play the game. Short time
Go
frames
ahead.
is usually retail. Short time frames usually retail.
yeah, they're the weakest hands and the shortest time frames.
But, and I just watched that videos down on the trading floor videos that I say you guys that I saw. They popped up in my YouTube, whatever. My God, I was listening to one of them. He's like, well, now the activity has gone to the screens, and with all those 1 lot traders, when 1,000 lot comes into the pit, that's a big order. You can get 1,000 lot pretty quick, really quickly, with 1,000 retail traders on a 1 lot, and that's a big order. And we used to look at those orders as being institutions. So a lumped up retail folk saying the same thing, 1 lot is an institutional, trade. So
When they're all
Something to think
one
about
way,
there.
they can move the market.
Yeah.
yes, that's what he
For
was saying
sure.
on there. I'm like, that's really, I've never heard anybody just combine say all the 1 lot traders out there. I'm like, I always say that all the traders out there, but then I'm like thinking about it. If everybody had a 1 lot on right now, and there's 1,000 of them, that moved in the NASDAQ. There's just a lot of people in their personal brokerage accounts trading the NASDAQ right now. That can move things. When you guys get wicked out and all that kind of stuff, I mean, you trading against the other guy probably just like you too. But right now, going to today's point, seems like it's bigger money coming in here, right? Is that what you would say, John? Because you said that the short time frames are getting steamrolled. Feel like they're getting steamrolled. Does that mean bigger money institutions are moving? And
Yeah,
then
so
they're getting
we had
steamrolled that's accelerating the momentum.
we had a lot of overnight longs. That pullback
Mhm.
down to 757.5 was probably a lot of those overnight longs getting out, but they ran into longer time frame buyers that started moving their bids up, decreasing the value or increasing the negativity of delta. So that's when I noticed that, I said, you know what, I'm out on the shorts here. We got to get out of this. I said, I'm out on this because it was basically saying that we found what we were looking for. We found the buyers in longer time frame because they're just scooping up whatever the short time frame traders that use market orders to sell into the market will take. And it's not
Yup.
obvious all the time, like with obvious iceberg orders. They just do it so sneakily sometimes it becomes very difficult to recognize it. That's why I look at the regular trading session delta overall, because I looked up and down the profile and I didn't see any really specific iceberg orders like we saw yesterday. So when just looking at that delta throughout the day, and it's still negative 7,600, there's probably still shorts there. If we hold the IB high, this thing could continue to move higher. But it was that delta, that negative delta, that said, hey, there's something else going on here. When we're at the high of the day, you would think we would have positive delta, but we had some pretty deep negative delta. And when I saw that, I said, that's it, we're out of this. And then we saw the pop, and we still, I think, have some shorts that are still stuck in this market and in today's time frame, today's weaker hands traders.
Super hard to get short right now, right? Super hard to get short, wouldn't it be?
Oh,
I
absolutely
don't want to.
not.
Oh, no, sorry. Super hard to get long right now, right?
That's the hard thing to do. Is usually
as
the
a
right thing.
retail. Yeah, exactly. As a retail, I'm like, no way I'm getting long right now. So something to think about. Mass Superman, love Topstep. And I like how MP asks basic questions, even though I think he knows the answer to educate new traders. Sometimes I forget, like even the foundation of trading. So it's always good. That's why you learn so much when you teach or just get in part of a group and just ask questions. You're like, oh, I remember that. That was like the second year I started trading. How did I forget that? So, yeah. And I started trading in 1997. Only one thing I've done.
All right. 97.
Oh, speaking of Masked Superman, guys, I got a story for you. I played Superman in Aspen yesterday. Superman. And I saved Gotham City from a drunk driver. A drunk driver was in the middle of driving down Main Street and driving really slow and then swerving. It's 11 a.m. It's 11 a.m. It's
Gotham is where Batman lives, though. Just saying.
Metropolis is Superman.
But that's
I have my finger on the mute button.
I'm roaming the plane with my cape going through down Main Street,
Okay.
and I'm like, what
Potential
the hell
failed
is
upside
this
auction
doing?
occurring now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's get in the markets real quick. I'll tell you a story. It's actually really good.
I want to hear this.
Yeah. I was flattered, yet I had to call a cop. So how about that?
You gotta-
I'll leave you with that.
We'll be preempting a short here. I don't like it, but
Was anybody
I
talking
do
about
like-
any of the levels up there in the 87s, 57, 87s, or
Not 87s, but they were talking 84 and
84?
didn't.
Yeah, you can only take it
I
for.
think John said something like that. So
Yeah.
I went short.
Nice.
I just took it.
nice.
I don't know how well it's going to hold, so I'm just. I
Got to
only
talk
have
to
one
us, Anne Marie.
contract.
Don't hide those
I
good
was-
trades from us.
I was trying to, but I didn't move my mouth fast enough. I was too hung up on. Wait,
It happens.
Superman's not
It
from Gotham. Should I tell him?
I still want to see it
He
check
goes all
those
over the place.
57,
What is he talking about?
the low 5760s by tomorrow.
We got 4,700 people watching. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. I got to call out a nice success story. Abthodon locked out past 5 more combines today. Congratulations. Great to
Awesome.
see.
Awesome.
So yeah, in the markets, I mean, we're basically hanging right at the IB
Yeah.
high, and we've got 20
I
minutes
love that.
before we can find out if we're going to leave a failed upside auction there. Try and be patient. There's more opportunities.
Yes.
All right, Michael, go on with your Superman
Yes,
story.
I want to hear this story.
Let's hear it.
The Superman's flying through it now. So I drive down Main Street, it's 25 miles an hour, and I'm like, okay, this person's on the left lane, I'm in the right lane, going east. And then they're swerving like this back into my lane, slowed down, came to a complete stop. And then I'm like, I'm not one of those guys who's like lays on the horn. It's a small town, Chicago, all day long, but it's a small town. And then they'd start driving. Now they're in the middle, 2 lanes, and then the middle where you can turn left. They give you space where you can turn left and right for those people who want to turn left and right. And she's like driving straight down that. So then I'm like, I drive next to her. I'm like, yo, you okay? And she's like, looks at me. She's like, can I buy you a drink? I'm like, I go, what? Are you okay? And then she looks at me. She's like, can I buy you a drink? I'm like, oh my God, okay. She's hammed. I go, no, you need to get off the road. Like, no, get off the road, chill out. Immediately takes a hard left. And I'm like, okay. So she's hammered. I know she's hammered. And guys, somebody says you're a snitch. I have kids that walk the streets of this Gotham City. And yes, I will, if somebody doesn't know what planet they're on, then yes, I will call them in. So went down the street, took a left, took another left. Now we're coming head on to each other. She's driving 20 miles an hour. And I put my hand out and say, stop. And I roll down my window and she rolls down her window. And I go, hey, are you okay? And she rolls down and she's like, yeah, there's a guy yelling at me on the other street, not knowing it was me. I already forgot. And I'm like, I go, I got to do something here because she's like, she cannot drive. And there's cars and kids and those little turtles that they put on the side of the road that says slow kids. All that's right there. in this neighborhood. There's a kid of yellow brick schools right there. And I'm like, you gotta get off. You seem hammered. She looks at me. She lifts up her camera. She's like, you're cute. Can I buy you a drink? I'm like, now I'm flattered, but at the same time, I'm like, I gotta do something here. And I'm like, no, you need to stop. You need to get out. You've had too much. And she just starts driving. So now she's driving east. She's behind, like, driving towards like Hotel Jerome or whatever. And there's kids. I have a friend that lives right down the street there too. And I'm like, calling 911, instantly pick up. I go, yeah, I got a drunk driver. I did the whole Victor Bravo 129er kind of like, I got a license. Feeling pretty cool about this one, just like perfectly nailing it. Ford Suburban, don't know what year, white. And she's in like, goes to turn left, but she's like half turning left and she's in the other lane, but she's also rolled over the crosswalk that comes up across the street, sitting there forever. And they're like, police are on the way, blah, blah, blah. I go, she's about ready to turn on the Mill Street. Right when she turned on Mill Street, 5 cops, 2 undercover, and 3, boom, right there. And they got her out. And, I drove by a little bit later. They got her out and she was crying and they were doing whatever they were doing. I don't know how it ended, but I had to email the police officer my statement, which I did the whole thing. I go, she said, can I buy you a drink? She said, you're cute. Like, to court. If she goes to court, she's gonna. So this guy, the witness, I would feel a little embarrassed with her. But yeah, I mean,
you ruined her
couple I
world
get.
tour.
Yeah, exactly. Couple I get, but yeah, you pulling a JT.
Well, was
Timberlake
she attractive?
That doesn't matter, John. She's a little bit older for me, and I'm married.
Probably means no. We're selling off a little bit here.
The quickest and long story is that's the 3rd time I've ever done that in my life. The 2 other times were in Chicago, and the cars had sideswiped already cars, and I was just driving, and I was like, and I'm seeing this. I'm like, okay, this guy's hammered or on something. So those are my good Samaritan moves. Now, don't get me wrong. There's been a couple times where you drink, you're like, well, but not to oblivion. So,
Yeah.
Well, speaking of attractive, we got JD coming in with some stats here. JD, are you ready?
JD is ready. All right. I was going to make a "you're so good looking" comment, but I bit my tongue. All right.
You want to buy me a drink?
Tomorrow.
You, JD.
All right. Yesterday's best
I'm
live
flat.
funded PNLs. Here we go. Susan. What a day for Susan yesterday.
Wow.
She had her daily loss limit set to $1,000. And look what she did.
No, she didn't.
$41,000 in profits with a $1,000 daily loss limit. She made 62
That
trades.
is the best
256.
entry. That is great entries, great entries, because you don't have to take that much heat on great entries. Unbelievable.
Yep.
That's great trading.
It's
62
40
trades.
days of hitting your daily loss limit, and you're still up money.
You
We'll
can
get
get
another
daily
story
loss
about
limit.
daily loss limits
Right.
in a little bit. But yeah, 62 trades, 256 total contracts, 91% winning trade percentage yesterday. She just found the groove and went with it. 41,000.
Carving it up.
Yep.
Thanks for sharing the daily loss limit. That matters. That matters on big days, because it just kind of shows how finesse or carving the market up they were that day.
Yeah, shout out to the risk team for pointing that one out to us too. So good job on Susan. Hope you're in the chat listening. Nice job. Next up, we got Pakanan, who we talked about on the shoulder tap yesterday. $19,706. Yep, trading gold. Zhejiang, Eddie, Maiko, all carved up the NASDAQ for some nice profits yesterday. 10 grand for Zhejiang, 7,100 for Eddie, giving Eddie a 2-day running total of $10,500. And Maiko, just about 4 grand, trading the NASDAQ also. Real traders taking real money out of the real live markets right there. All right, I'm going to change up and overlay, and then we'll look at some payouts from yesterday real quick. All right. Who wants to do the over-under on yesterday's total payouts?
I
I'm
play
going to go
this
ahead.
from home and I get it wrong all the time.
900,000 US dollars.
Are we going to start averaging $1 million a day in payouts in 2025? I mean, there's the active traders with Topstep is growing like at a good clip. It just, maybe people are finding there's a better alternative than risking their kids' college fund in their personal brokerage account to come learn for $49 along the way. But, so I don't know, but it's growing bananas.
Yeah, just looking at the data, I haven't done the actual math, but looking at the last 2.5 months, we've been averaging well over $650,000 a day. I would say closer to 700,000. But as far as yesterday is concerned, Jack nailed it. $922,000 in total payouts.
Whoa! Good on you.
Hey,
Nice.
451 payouts, over $2,000 average payout for these traders.
That's
I was
good.
going to show XFA P&Ls real quick, but here's our top 5 payouts from yesterday. This is good stuff too.
I mean, that's a good rent or mortgage, 2,000. I know
Oh, yeah.
mortgage
Oh,
and
yeah.
rent's
I
I
thought you meant $900,000. Like, that's a pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
No. The
Marina.
the average 2,400 people.
The average.
400 people right now. Yeah, if you play it in this fun little term, 400 people right now covered their rent for the month. That feels pretty good. Topstep's vision is to be a path to a better lifestyle. We know everybody comes in the trading industry to try to have a better lifestyle. So we're trying to be that path to better lifestyle. So that's, my head goes there when I see that.
There's Nick.
It's true. That's real money. Yep.
Yeah.
Marina, we mentioned Marina the other day. She made her way onto the leaderboard, took a $41,000 payout. That's $38,357 in her pocket. Nice job, Marina. Dylan with $23,400 out of 5 XFAs. Marco took money out of 5 XFAs, also on our leaderboard, number 3, I believe, today, $21,465. Armando, pair of XFAs, $21,185 total, and Nick for a tick, $13,950 payout. All right, now we got those XFA P&Ls.
Real quick, we are in the ES.
Yeah.
Sure,
failed
well, then
upside down.
awesome.
Yeah, really quickly, that was a upside failed auction, Johnny.
Well, I mean, we would have had to wait for it, but there's sometimes preempting it is what you have to do and just take the risk on it. The risk was probably
Okay, so we got to pull back.
9 points on it.
Yeah. Okay. So those 50s, if you're sitting with those longs, all those longs, I was like, hey, you guys long right now from the 57.50s, and everybody started chiming in between around there. If you're still sitting long, now you're like, damn, I had a lot of money in this. And you're still in the money. But what are we thinking now?
Low 60s.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm leading to. Like, what are we thinking now? And the folks in chat, if you're seeing the market really well today, chime in.
Do you like VWAP for an attempt at a long 57.61, Anne Marie? Tilted higher.
Yeah. That
I like even a little more aggressive than that, just by a couple points. 64, 63, something around there. Because, as I said, I think that 5,700 SPX level is going to be a magnet, and that's when it gets too far ahead. I said I had that blue line there. I didn't take the trade because I am mortal and indecisive, but I think there's going to be resistance there. So if we've been looking to do a pullback the whole time, it seems like a good spot to give it a try.
Yeah. Plus, we see all those 68s that were hitting the bid a little while ago, and they're coming back right into it.
I might have lost it. We'll see.
Negative 9,800 in Delta. That 61 levels value low on the day, but I have the 100 session moving average coming in at 57.6375 approximately. There's a little bit of confluence there. All right. JD, was JD done?
Well, he's going to be on. We're going to be subbing out. JD's going to come in for me in like 10 minutes, so maybe he can do his stats then.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I know. I was talking about the stats because I saw some of the payout, the bigger numbers, just the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 folks. Because I think he'll get to that in the XFAs or live. I don't know. But when I was saying 400 people took it with the average of 2,000. Remember the big payout folks? Like they take big payouts, of course. So that's gonna. So I was like, hey, out of the big payout folks, and the number, how much? So like, how much of the what was that 922,000 is the big payout folks? So it's kind of interesting to say like the big payout folks, and of the 922,000 that got paid out yesterday. Maybe he'll have the stat, but I think is 15% of them were the top 5 biggest payouts. Okay, that's interesting. Because not everybody got 2,000. There's $100 ones, and there's $41,000 ones, and things like that. There's a little fun stat that you get to know a little bit more what's underneath those numbers.
Mm. Hey, Coach Vince, one of the coaches from the VIP, has another trader going into the XFA. Congratulations to that trader, Arise,
Excellent.
and of course to Coach Vince. Coach Vince is my guy. Gonna send him some gabagool.
The VIP is turning out to be a hit. And it's only a hit really because the folks that are in it, when I say the traders and the coaches, are all seriously motivated to help and to be helped, coachable, and great coaching. That is becoming really special. I said this is a dress rehearsal. Topstep VIP. This is me. I'm flushing things out with you guys so you guys can hear this. It's like a dress rehearsal for us for the Topstep Trading League. That's going to be coming out, which we're going to move in to try to be like, can we follow the esports arenas around, the esports gamers? And when they shut down their event, they have these events at the esports arenas all over. One's in Vegas, absolutely beautiful. It's cool stage, all that kind of stuff. So can we do all this? I think it'd be super, super cool to bring the stickiness of community together with the competitive nature of team camaraderie and working together for your team and all that kind of stuff. So we're kind of seeing this with the Topstep VIP. It's pretty exciting. So Coach Vince has another one. Congrats, Coach.
Yes, he does.
It is.
What's his
The arena's pretty cool.
market makers? What team is Coach Vince coaching?
Market makers, I believe. I believe that's correct.
Market makers. They're on the leaderboard. They own the leaderboard. His players, traders. So that's what's going to get kind of fun to talk like that because, like in general, I don't want to listen. I don't want to do anything. I want to say, fine, lone wolf it. That's fine. But trading pits is where I learned the quickest and fastest. Trading prop firm was prior to the pits. Is where I learned the quickest and fastest. I didn't learn anything when I traded in my condo or whatever from the age of 19 to 23, and then I went to Chicago and got with a prop firm that I started learning. So I was in a room with other traders, and then I would learn even more in the trading pits. And that's what we try to emulate here at Topstep TV is the trading pits and team and working together of what people are seeing. So that to me will be really special when Topstep Trading League does that, brings it all together.
Yeah. And real quick, we'll keep an eye on the ES trades we're scoping out here. But before I switch with JD, it makes sense that we do a little Series 3 action right now. This one is just made up from yours truly. So if the answer is wrong by some technicality, I don't know. Go kick rocks. So here is our question for today. Which of the following is a self-regulatory organization or SRO? The CME, the CFTC, the NFA, or the SEC? Michael, you know this.
A.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Like the font.
Or are you going to the mall? Well, what movie? Or are you going to the mall? Regulatory body. Exchange. Exchange is self.
You're not gonna love this.
Am I?
Yeah, but the CME isn't a regulatory organization.
No. I'm talking. I went from the bottom. SEC, NFA, CFTC.
No. What I mean is,
this is what kills me about these freaking questions.
No, it's
the Board of Trade and the CME have been self-regulating. but not regulatory.
Hold on, NFA.
But they're not. No, but they're not a regulatory organization.
Yes,
Like a regulatory
yes,
organization
yes,
is like an
But they are self-regulating.
It's the NFA. It's the NFA. Self-regulatory is the
I have no
NFA.
idea.
Let's take a look at what the answer is. Yes, it is C. The National Futures Association is a self. So I think what gets people. This is why you need to read the book. And by the way,
This is terrible.
I just wrote this question, so maybe they would clarify more and something like that. But there's like a definition of what a self-regulatory organization is. It isn't just that you self-regulate, which the CME does. An SRO is like an industry thing where there are members and adjudicators and stuff like that. So the NFA is that. The CFTC is the ultimate authority there for all futures things, but that is a government organization. So
Anne Marie,
Okay.
We know they don't self-regulate themselves at all, so we know that one was a complete
Anne Marie,
X.
you see what we were talking about?
Yes,
I've known since I was a little kid that the Board of Trade was a self-regulating organization, not regulatory.
Yes, we always said that on the floor. It's self-regulated. You go down there, and they only intervene when two people can't agree. Then they moderate, and they find that if John and I got in an argument in the trading pits, and I'm writing on my card, I'm like, dude, I sold you 10, and then you go to me, no, I sold you 10. Like, what? I'm like, what? And you want to punch the guy, but you don't. And then you're like, all right, fine, I'm taking you to arbitration.
it's a shame. It's a shame I have to leave this way.
Yeah.
We are a few points away from where I'd be interested in buying the ES. Interested a few points lower than here. But an SRO is a thing, and it exerts power over an industry, right? So like the CME is an exchange and they self-regulate. I mean, pretty much every company to some extent self-regulates. You get to make your own decisions of what's right and wrong. Yeah. But an SRO is never one. It's a group of members within an industry that has some regulation power over members. And that would be the NFA. Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jack.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Sorry
Jack.
it had to end like that.
They word the questions to trip you up.
They didn't word. I made that one up.
Yeah.
So that's what's
in
going
the
to happen.
spirit of tripping us up.
They say that in the very beginning of the book when you read, they're like, they purposely tried to mislead you on questions. And I got really mad when I read that. But then I talked to my lawyer and he's like, I'm like, dude, did they do this for you like at the bar? He's like, yeah, they're trying to challenge you with not layups. You know, they're trying to challenge you if you're talking to a client, blah, 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 blah. We don't have clients at all. But if you go into the brokerage world, you have clients.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
You got dumb clients and you got smart clients and you got and you get ones that ask you really dumb questions or really ones that are over your head. Like they're supposed to prepare you for all that type of stuff. So
I am
like, okay,
definitely afraid I'm going to fail this freaking thing. I'm not a good test taker anyway. I've been in this for years. You'd think I'd know everything like that. Not true.
John, I got a 2.67 GPA in college, 2.6 economics degree with a minor in commodity pricing analysis. I didn't apply myself at all. My whole thing was like, just get a degree. You're going to be a trader anyway. I was already trading in college. I just needed to have a fallback. I tested. I took it. I did just fine. And I got an 18 or 19 twice on my ACT in high school. So if you consider somebody stupid by the test taking that they do, then I'm stupid. But street smart, I can hang with the best of them. But and hustle. But
that I'm John, good at.
You'll be just fine. You know this industry like that. You're born into this industry with your father and family. Been doing it for
doesn't mean you know everything. And I'm like, oh God. I went through everything in January. I got to go through it all again.
You set your date and then power through it. Like Nick Furtick's like, I'm procrastinating now or something like that. Set the date and don't tell us about it. That's what I was going to do. But then everybody's like, well, why are you not going to be on Topstep TV? And I'm like, all right, I'm going to
That was like the one time you chose to tell us where you'd be instead. So it's kind of about you.
The other time I don't. Like, where is he?
Can't tell you.
Anyway, I got to run. JD's coming on. Anne-Marie, always a pleasure to see you. Michael, I'll see you in arbitration where I believe you have to respond in 21 days or less if I'm asking for less than 50 grand. So,
yes, that's exactly right, I think.
All right. Oh,
Okay, what was that?
So where are we at in the markets right now on any of the house account ideas? Or Ann, are you seeing anything here?
Okay, so the long off the bottom, easy. The short off the top, easy. Now we're sitting in a zone where literally we're in kind of a limbo. We've got the edge of a high volume node. We've got the VWAP. We've got 1 hour confluence. I suspect we could fade. What say you, John?
Well, if we're looking at the S&Ps, we did end up leaving a failed upside auction above the initial balance. We've been looking for opportunities to buy it. We're starting to get very deep into the negative delta. We were looking at 61 as value low. We were looking at 61 as VWAP on the 30-minute chart. We also have the 100-session moving average, which is on the 30-minute chart, which is 57.64, which is the level that Jack was thinking about looking to take a long. So if we do look for a long, I think if we give up VWAP, we're out.
What about trying it
by how much?
What about trying it at 63? Or do you think? Ooh.
Yeah, I'm gauging everything by where the risk is, and if we give up VWAP with a failed upside auction, then I think that's our risk.
Okay. So where do you want the entry to be? Is my question. Is it right here?
Well, I like 63.
Yeah, I like 63.
That's 2 points from VWAP or a point from VWAP.
Yeah.
Order filled.
What up?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Hey, JD.
Hey, how's it going?
JD.
All right.
Dang it.
All right. So
Running away from you.
Gives us a minute. Yeah.
You got to be on it.
No kidding.
Yeah, the good opportunities aren't around for long.
Yeah.
Might get another shot at it.
Yeah.
But do you like it on the next move down? That's always the question. Do you like it more or less if it gives you another shot?
and that another shot is where?
63.
63.
And some change. Yeah.
64, 63.
But if you're that guy that's down there in the 57.50s that kept that trade on as a runner right now, you're starting to get a little nervous.
Yeah, they've probably moved their stop up there, and we're going to buy their stop, and we're going to take the rest of the move to the upside.
Love that thinking because we've all been there. I'm going to trail my stop, and then it trails, and you trail, and then you get it to the tick, and then it just rips higher, and then you're like, why did I ever move my stop? Blah 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 blah. So we're going to get those guys. Those guys. Is that how you say it?
That's what we just
JD?
got. If we got in there, that's what we got.
We are barcoding on a 30-minute formation, though. You know.
Yeah.
Order filled.
Yeah. Well,
Dang it.
Yeah. David Green was mentioning on the on group coaching yesterday how there's a tendency, I won't call it a probability, tendency to day after Fed day that we see a trend day. It kind of looked like it earlier this morning, but we didn't get any follow through. And yeah, we're just moving sideways right now.
Yeah, we really are. Except for that first fade. Yes.
That I'm used to. Just shorter than I'm used to seeing. I mean, shorter time frames than I'm used to looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're just, trying to find opportunities. The 57 halves, those came from yesterday's high and measured moves and stuff like that. That's the weekly kickoff high, which was resistant yesterday, was supportive today. I know you don't cotton to that too much, JD, but it did put in the low. And then, the December all-time high, 57.85 half, was just an obvious visual number that actually put in the high for the session so far. We do have failed upside auction. So there's that. We are seeing negative delta though, negative 11,000 now. So that's indicating
on a failed
shorter
upside
time
auction,
frame or short.
on a failed upside auction, can you use an initial balance high as a sell zone
Yes.
or create a sell zone around it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And what is our initial balance high?
High behind the S&P is 57.82. Value high 57.79 quarter.
Yeah.
Now, we got to remember that failed upside auction is a failed upside auction, but our initial hypothesis today was we were going to be buyers. We were going to be looking for opportunities for longs. And so far, we've been holding overnight VWAP pretty well. It's still tilted up.
Yeah.
Lower left to upper right. At least on this 5-minute chart.
There's so much consolidation here that, especially if you look at just a 30-minute chart, you'll just see nothing but, right? I mean, that's just how it
looks like a Christmas ornament.
It does. It literally does. And so, I don't know, maybe, I mean, I look at this, I have this indicator that I watch. It's called the volume price. It's called volume price by trend. And so it sort of maps the amount of volume that piles in relative to trend. And it literally is sitting flat as a pancake. And so that always suggests some measure of consolidation that might continue.
Sure. Well, one thing's for sure, we're sitting right in the middle of this range. There's nothing I can do here.
Yeah, for sure. It's literally a coin toss here in my mind. The YM is, I think it's in a short formation. I took a small short earlier, but then covered it at the same time I covered my ES short. And so
I did not want to hold that. Pull all the way back.
Oh wow, my order at 57.6350 just filled.
For long?
Long.
Yes. For the long.
Nice little move down there, right to VWAP.
Yep. It's got to bounce here.
Make it through.
And then what's the risk on this?
350.
I'm long. I got the house account long 5 just because it's right where she's at. But I'm
right.
If I know there's a stop, then I can start to be a little bit.
Did you see this excess tail on? If you're looking at a 30-minute,
Just
the
John,
excess tail on
risk?
that
60,
bar.
57.60.
60.
Yeah.
I agree.
That would be considered a cheap long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You hope.
I love cheap longs. I like cheap drinks too. Michael, you gonna buy me a cheap drink?
I mean,
you guys are going to have fun on Friday.
I'll drive.
I got 9-1 on my phone right now. I'm going to press the other one, John, if you say it one more time.
Some guy on the other street's yelling at me.
Oh, that was the funniest line.
What an incredible story.
That was hilarious.
I felt bad, but at the same time, you can't get... there's people
What's
on the
our
street.
target? Do we see 60? That's 68. We need to get up and over that number so that where we saw all that bid action. Do we want to see it recover?
Are you looking for this to continue higher, or is this a see money, take money?
I think it's a see money, take money.
Yeah, with the
agree.
Look.
Yeah, this isn't a home run.
The failed upside auction.
Yeah.
This isn't a home run hitting type of trading environment right now.
No,
Kind of choppy.
it's not. Very choppy. Very, very choppy. I don't like it that it's not zooming up over
Going.
68, but I'm impatient. So what's the dome look like?
Now.
We're
Don't
just we
look
got
like-
one. We got one lots every point for the next 5.
Oh. Okay. All right.
3 points.
Tilt not
There's a-
saying
there's a
anything out of the ordinary.
Tilt's pretty flat.
Yeah,
S&P
liquidity-
52%, 59 NASDAQ.
57.75, there's liquidity. 80, there's liquidity. 87, there's liquidity.
Wow, they're lifting offers way up there. That was a half. That's 2 ticks higher than it just went through.
You got a better fill? Is that what you said?
Yeah, but then the offers came in and filled it in really quickly, or it was such a flash. We got one on now. That'll see money, take money.
Yeah. The 72.
We're above point of control. I mean, value high is up at 79.
Yeah.
Are we out
What do you
there
have
with
on,
that?
Michael?
No, we got a 5 lot on, Johnny.
Still have 5
And-
on. Okay.
No, we don't have a 5 lot on. No,
Oh.
but we covered them all right around here.
Oh, I'm
We're out.
sorry. I thought we were still in.
Yeah, we're up. I mean, we're up 2,600. I have a 5 lot, and I need to start starting with a 10 lot. Then by the time I start with a 10 lot now, maybe that's sort of losing. It's just like one of those that I'm kind of like.
Yep.
My job is to execute and then understand the size, and I've gotten light.
Yeah. There's nothing
But
wrong
also-
with that.
But I've
No,
taken no
nothing
heat on.
wrong.
But the house account has taken no heat on your guys' calls. I
Yeah.
just so
Well,
Yeah,
some
no
days we
reason-
see the market clearer than others. So I think the way you're going in is just fantastic, actually. The small
No need for
chunks and
No need for stops
Exactly.
if you're always right.
yeah.
the market's a buffet. It's open all the time.
Mr. No Neck, thank you. Did not see that working order. See in the trading pits, or if you're trading alone, with nobody talking to you, I would have got up. I had a 5 lot or whatever it was working. Would have got up, I don't know, done something and here, order filled in the other room, but not
I
here on top of
hate
the
it when
TV
that
because Mr.
happens.
No Nick told me I have a working order. We're all working together. We all see things. Thank you. Mr.
Yeah.
I hate it when that happens.
What do we little house keeping here? We had some announcements coming up from our good friend James. JD, you finished Hot Streaks and all that, right?
I got a lot left to share, but let's get
let's
James
do
in
it.
first.
Okay. There he is.
Am I on? My time?
You're on.
Time has come.
Time has come. I gotta frame myself. All right. Hello, Topstep viewers. Got a couple announcements here for you. First off, we mentioned it a lot yesterday, but we're going to keep mentioning it. Don't forget, Brian Shannon is coming back to Topstep TV September 24th at 1 p.m. Central. That's right, Brian Shannon, the pioneer of the anchored VWAP. He's going to come on to discuss how he uses it, how it's impacted his trading. If you haven't seen one of his sessions before, be sure to check this one out. September 24th, 1 p.m. Central. Moving on, we also got Trustpilot. If you like what we're doing here, please take a moment to leave us a review. I'm going to drop the link here in the chat. You're going to click on it and fill it out. And we're going to love that. Trustpilot here. And also, I got some quick images for you. I was supposed to do it at the same time. It's hard to host and click at once, but here we go. Look at that. Brian Shannon, September 24th, 1 p.m. I only bring it up again one more time because we also got a really cool picture from our producer, Tim. Brian sent him a signed copy of his book. So thank you, Brian. I know Tim has been really excited to get this. Want to make sure we showed that off. So be sure to catch Brian Shannon, September 24th. I'll pass it back to you guys.
Thank you, James. I got to talk to Brian. I had to buy my own copy.
That's really
Maybe I'll
nice
send it
that
to him.
he
He
did
can
that.
he can sign it
That's
for me.
sweet. Absolutely, he would.
Can we
in
share
a
that book
heartbeat.
yet? Can we share that book, Hogue? I haven't read it yet either.
I've been working my way through it. Yeah, absolutely, we can share it.
It's really good. Great reading. So fast. You could tell he worked on it really, really hard.
Well, I've been
I mean,
saving
it's-
screenshots of opportunities that those anchored VWAPs have provided. We got a couple of good ones, and I had some really good questions about them too. So I think this is going to be a really good session.
Yeah, excited.
Brian's such a good guy, and just
He
love
is.
love his work and love the anchored VWAPs, and still learning a lot about them. But I think they're fantastic. JD, you want to do more of your stuff?
Yeah, sure. Where did we leave off? We left off at XFA P&Ls, didn't we?
Yes.
Stuff back
Yes.
up.
Hey, really quickly, when he does that, what are you guys liking about this? It is consolidating a bit in the last however many 5-minute bars between 75, where we're at here right now on the high side, to 65, 10 handle in between here.
Yeah,
Type of-
it's. I mean, if we were long, I'd be looking to lighten up here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it's
But
still
I'm
a
not-
by the dip formation. Yeah.
Mhm.
When you think? Yeah, I think so.
What's Delta
Mhm.
looking like right now, Hogue?
Negative 10,000.
So it paired off a little. It
Interesting.
was negative 12 a few minutes ago.
Yeah, just about negative 12, and yeah, it's going to pair off as price pushes higher because all those short time frame shorts are saying, "Hey, I'm underwater. I better get out." So they got to turn buyers. They push price higher, just like Michael was talking about. There's a one lot trader that isn't going to move the market, but you get 1,000 one lot traders getting out.
but that was
That's going to
one.
move the market.
Yep.
I would love, we've talked about this, JD, I wanted you to go here, but talking about moving the markets, one lots, understanding how to move the markets. So with the trading platform that we have right now at Topstep X, we can actually help people understand what that is actually like. Right now we're simulation. We're sitting on top of the market. So hear me out. We're sitting on top of the markets. We're not influencing any movement in the markets right now. Nobody here except our live traders. If they do enough one lots and stuff like that, they'll move it. If we were to just create a woozy woo product, just create a woozy woo product, just a no name product, and then we all get an account, and then we all put our orders in, but it has to be based upon something that we all believe is going to go higher and lower. You will then start to understand how individuals like you and I can lift offers, hit bids, race stops, and you'll actually see it more. Now you got to kind of take. Yes, so hopefully that, John, do you know what I'm talking about? We've talked about this before, about just like on the dome right now, all these working orders are somebody with live real capital, blah, blah, blah. A lot of folks are on simulation, so they can't do it. If we were to take an empty dome, an empty chart, and go, all right, what's this product? It could be cheeseburgers. Maybe it is cheeseburgers. It's truth. It could be. I just made that up. And cheeseburgers, they think, the average price is $4.85.
Right.
And then it's not a bad idea. It's just cheeseburger. You got cheese, you got beef, you got bread, and then you could just use your own little inflation at home. I went to the store and hey, bread's going up. I'm gonna go lift the offer on cheeseburgers because I think they're gonna go up a couple pennies. Stuff like that. It could be kind of fun to do to help people understand how the auction process works. And that goes back to John talks about the auction process. You have no clue really how you can affect it until you actually affect it. And then you're like, you have a light bulb that goes off. Like right now, you could put 100 lot in and you'll see it in there. You'll actually see it working. You can put whatever size you want. Nobody will ever see it. So
they used to have bring your kids to work day at the Merc. And at the end of the day, they would bring all these kids into the pit and they would give them badges and give them cards and they would trade pizza futures. So a pizza started at $10 and they would say, hey, it looks like Wisconsin is flooding the market with mozzarella cheese. That's going to be a lot of supply. What's price going to do? So all the kids would start selling it, and they'd sell it down to about $8. And then they'd say, hey, it looks like there's a shortage of tomatoes in Italy. What's that going to do? Well, scarcity is going to drive price higher. So they'd buy it all up and scream and holler and jump all over each other. But that's basically what Michael is saying.
How fun.
Cheeseburger market. So we got, if the guys are listening, cheeseburger market, we can have fun with this because like I just went there or we hear things, and we could have this other market that's sitting in Topstep X that could just be the fun, the fun thing that you do. And you can see where the price is. We check it on the price of cheeseburgers. And they're perishable, so you got to sell them. So that affects price. You got a ton of cheese.
That's expiration.
Expiration. That's yes. So then you can wrap your head around this all, and then you're going to the grocery store anyway to pick up cheese and bread and all that kind of stuff. So now you're like, man, it's going higher. And we could have these conversations. It could be to drop it and check the cheeseburger market. This could be fun. Just as a getting your head around lifting offers, hitting bids of real orders that are in there. These are real stupid orders.
I like that.
Products cheeseburger.
It's hard to understand what supply and demand of Woozy Woos is.
Yeah. There you go. Kung. You go. Vegan burgers. Maybe there's an article that comes out and said more vegan burgers than ever. Impossible Burger is through the roof, and you're like, well, the natural cheeseburger is going to go down in price. Just with those headlines, we bring those headlines into the Topstep TV. It's fun because they just hit the market, and then we could kind of feel as though we're in the market of cheeseburger. It could work. There
are actually tons of simulation things like that sitting out there where you can build your stuff. I've seen it. Actually, way back when I was in college, we had this class called War, Peace, and Global Politics. And they literally, every day, they'd sort of like open up a random number generator, pull some things out, and then they would say, okay, you're this country and this just happened. You're this country and this just happened. Get to the table and sort it out. See whether you get deposed, killed, or sometimes people got deposed and killed. So it was a savage class, but it was good.
The funded burger trader, so we can see who the best trader is. Funded burger trader, pretty good.
I like it.
And cigar therapy, we could do it for Runzas too. Talk to Andre. He actually got a sample his first Runza ever when we were in the car on our way to Nebraska football game. Big Ten tailgate, Runza. We actually ate it in the car. The car reeked. And I'm like, we're doing drive-through.
What's a Runza?
Yeah,
I'm curious.
What is it? Runza is, think about bread that's a whole. Think about how about this? Think about a hot dog bun that's connected on all sides.
Order filled.
And then whatever you put ground beef in there, onions and cheese. And I think that's
like a panzerotti.
Yeah. Not an empanada, but empanada's wrapped.
Right.
All that kind of stuff.
Interesting.
So, calzone's wrapped.
That's a Nebraska thing.
But then it ends up just being a little like hot pocket looking thing, and you do it, and it's a Nebraska staple. And even who's that guy from Nebraska running with whomever? Is that the Harris vice VP? Isn't that the guy from Nebraska?
Oh, he's from Minnesota. Waltz.
I think somebody's originally from Nebraska. I thought it was Waltz. I think he's originally from, but he was talking about Runza. Or somebody said something about Runza. It was on the Daily Show, and then the Daily Show is making fun of Runzas in Nebraska. It's a very Runza in Nebraska is like In and Out in California.
He was born in West Point, Nebraska.
You're right,
in
Chicago.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Yeah. So, question. Last time we were up here at 5782, we talked about the short. I took it, but do we want to wait to see if it fails those highs to consider rotation back in? Or do we want to go for a 5-minute reversal formation to take it short, or to have continuation? What are we thinking as we come right back up into these levels?
Well, this is that 79 level where I was kind of looking at like leaving a runaround for that last long we had.
For the long. Okay.
Right. So, I mean, we've got a failed upside auction. So if we get back above the initial balance high 82 by a few ticks, that's gonna negate any shorts. So I like the idea of short up here
Okay.
because
Filled.
it's cheap. But remember, we've been looking buy side. So anything that we do
Right.
short up here is probably going
See
to
money,
be
take money.
see money, take money.
Short-lived. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because that failed auction on the upside is, I mean, it's substantial. We still have negative delta. There's so many conflicting nuances.
Yes. Tremendous
But
cross
if
currents.
Yeah, if the short is cheap enough, I'm all in.
Volume has really gone flat the last 15 minutes too.
Mhm.
Just melting up.
Jesse
the
James,
one-
go ahead, Ann. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I'll talk after.
No, yours is about the markets. Mine's not.
So the VIX is lifting off of its lows, but it normally ends up putting in some kind of high towards the lunchtime in the middle of the day, which could give us some more upside tailwinds. So that's just something to keep your eye on, in terms of this breakout. So I'm going to look at the 5-minute, see if it gives us a reversal at 82. If it doesn't, then the pullback that it gives us, we could go long and see if it could get into 57.90 or something.
The NASDAQ's already above its initial balance and taking out those single ticks of the failed
Yep.
upside auction. That's not
Yep.
a good sign. For sure.
Yep. Yep.
Jesse
Negative
James, you
delta
asked
as well,
about why
1,300.
Okay.
you asked about why I quit pit trading. I never quit. Pit trading quit us.
The pick,
That's
the
right.
pick quit on us.
We would all guys. JD was down there. Jack was down there. Andre was down there. Hogue was down there. Eddie was down there.
I'd still be there.
Who?
I would
Yeah,
still
we'd
be
all
there.
still guarantee 1,000%. We'd all still be, if it was thriving, we'd all still be down there. Or we would have a booth that we would be doing this out of. We'd still be doing Topstep. We'd be in the pits. We'd have a video of John walking out from the pits and saying, "Here, I just sold 100." We would have all that. It just doesn't exist anymore. All volume got pulled out of the pits and put into the screen, and then the whole world got access to screen trading, and then that's the market. Don't need the
Yep.
pits anymore. Goodbye.
Talk about lifting bids and offers. That was like the very first screen trade that there was when screens made their way onto the trading floor. I work for a group in the bonds, and say the market was 4-bet at 5, right? Just for example, the screen was real light. Market participation is nothing like what it is nowadays. So the screen on the bonds would be maybe 50 to 100 up. 4-bet at 5, 4-bet for 100, 100 offered at 5, and the Goldman deck would come in, the Goldman broker would come in, and what's here? All right, you'd offer 1,000 at 4. I'd have 500 bonds loaded on my tablet, and I would just swipe that bid. Now it's at 4.
Yep.
I'm short. I've got 100 on. I've got my offer in. All right. So now market's at 4. 3-bid at 4. We're bidding 3s. He's still trying to get 4s. All right. So I swipe out the 3s. Now it's at 3 and I'm bidding 2. Broker's trying to sell 3s. And we just keep doing that all the way down until the broker gives up the edge. And then you just buy them all back and you calculate your profit later. That was the ultimate original screen trade. Now they have algos.
Gangster stuff. Original gangster stuff is what you meant to say.
We were all the dome.
We were the dome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We were the dome. I know. And then the dome, the ladder came out when we started. The ladder was what we called it, is the dome that you guys call it. We called it the ladder. And it was like, what's this? Well, here's the prices. Here's what's working on the offer. Here's what's working on the bid, like JD was saying. Like, And I showed up. That's when I showed up in 2002, screen trading futures.
Mhm.
And
Fresh money.
yeah, fresh money. Gives you a little bit of an edge. Helps you feel like you're really good at trading when you get a little bit of an edge, which is good. It also allows you to kind of like open up and do things a little bit more than you could with no edge. Having a foot in the pit and a foot in the screen.
Well, you know
Yeah,
what? We got
those,
a brief pause here. Sorry, go ahead, JD.
Oh, I was going to run into those XFA P&Ls, but do your thing, James. You hit it first.
Oh, I was going to say we have a quick video to throw together to show you guys. Danielle cut this up, and I think it's just a nice little break. It's a little montage of our golf trip from Lake Lawn. A lot of familiar faces. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So,
Jack was behind me and I was dropping him shots, so definitely oh no to Jack.
just like yesterday, please ignore any slurred speech.
It's golf time, baby. Thanks for coming out. This is going to be awesome. We're going to play a 9-hole shotgun start.
Do you think you'll hit the ball?
Probably at least once.
You know? What do you think you'll shoot today?
Under par, right?
Who do you think's going to get the drunkest on the TV team today?
Order filled.
Who's going to work the hardest? Is that what he said?
Yes, that's what I said. Excuse me.
Don't hitting it. We got to get this on camera.
Who do you think's going to be the best and the worst on the TV team?
In golf?
Yeah.
I'm going to
In
go
life.
Pelzer best, or in life.
Jack, who do you think's going to get the best score and the worst score on the TV team?
Best score, me.
Who do you think's going to have the best score and the worst score on the TV team?
TV team, best score. Jack looked pretty good when I saw him swing here.
Always bet on Andre. I always bet on Andre. Versatile challenge, golf. And worst score, probably Dolby.
What do you know about greens and regulation?
Do you guys like being on Dan's team, or is he kind of a pain in the ass?
What do you think?
Bonnie, how have you done so far?
Very good.
Get there.
You're recording my shitty shots now?
How's it been going, James?
So, driving, not so good.
Sarah's really the one that's been killing
Wish I could live up to his expectations. Did not go so well.
So be sure to follow our Instagram account for more videos like that.
That was awesome.
That was good. There's a little peek inside how we do it on the course.
It was fun.
Good. Slice and dice. Good job.
Right after I said I'm bad at driving, I did hit that ball, and I got a hole-in-one. So too bad you didn't show that.
Get out, did you?
Doesn't go with the storyline, James.
No, okay.
If I knew the camera was on me, I definitely would have made that putt. All right,
Oh, you
how
had
about
the
those
right
XFA P&Ls now?
Let's do it.
We got some housekeeping to do. All right. Are they up? They are up. All right, we got John first, mixing it up. Took more than $26,000 out of the Russell, S&P, Gold, Dow, and NASDAQ yesterday.
Wow.
Spreading it around for John. Shiwi made $24,771 trading the micro NASDAQ yesterday. I actually sent this profile over to Jack because I know he loves it when these savage micro traders just go ham on it.
Barbarians.
44 trades.
Order filled.
44 trades, 956 total contracts. A little bit longer on the whole times, 36 minutes for the winners, 20 minutes for the losers, but almost $25,000 trade on the micros yesterday. So there you go, Shiwi. Franklin trading in 5 XFAs, total profit of $101,470 across all 5 accounts yesterday, trading the NASDAQ. Also made a nice move on the leaderboard. We'll get to him in just a minute once again. Yu Young, also trading the NASDAQ, copy trades across 2 XFAs for a total profit of $39,033. And Saida with $18,818 trading the NASDAQ. Always big numbers coming out of those P&L accounts. One more time for hot streaks. Should we do those now?
Mm-hmm.
All right, here are your hot streaks. Delesh. Did it again, 52 days, made $1. 1 Cicero clam for Delesh, 1 bone, $1.
He's on fire!
52 days. You got us, Delesh. We're all looking at you. Jonathan, made
When you go super micro, you should go super micros and make it sound bigger, like 100 pennies. Put up a solid 100.
I'll think of something, yeah.
You copy traded across 100 accounts. That's 70 grand.
Oh, we played those extrapolation games earlier this year when everybody's like, if I could do this, I'm like, God, come on, guys. Yeah.
Still not eligible for a payout, so we hope you don't blow it all in one day, Delesh. Jonathan made another $320 trading in the NASDAQ, now at $6,891 on a 23-day heater. Ian made $206, now at 22 days. Eric, $240 trading the Micro ES, now at 21 days. And Christoph, new to the list, made $218 trading the Micro S&P and the Micro Dow. 17-day heater worth $3,037. All right. That's it for hot streaks. We still got the leaderboard. We'll get to that in a few minutes.
Dino, bro, this guy never disappoints us. I think Delesh is probably behind the scenes being like, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
52 days. That's the unofficial record. So we could
But this is going this is asterisk city. When we get all this dialed in where it's $200, takes a little bit more to get that hot streaks dialed in, right, JD?
Yeah.
To get it to
I know I've mentioned this before. Delesh he's a legacy member of this hot streaks board. We took a vote behind the scenes of production team. In order to be on the hot streaks board now, you must have you must be eligible for a payout, which means 200 or 5 days of $200+ in profits, non-consecutive. When we made that, we said we would let everybody on the list run off the board first, but Delesh has remained for quite a few weeks now and just not going anywhere.
So we're dialing in that leaderboard, and we're hearing more in the social channel world, Twitter world, about people wanting to be on the leaderboard because Dolby really said if you're influencing blah, 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 and you're not on a leaderboard, I don't care. So he said that, and we're like, well, leaderboard is really where our transparency is. It's also why we did Topstep TV to shed light on the best performing traders at Topstep right here and right now. Topstep is getting quite large, so we're really going to move it into the best performing futures traders in the industry right now. Unless we want to have somebody collect everybody's funded trader, blah, 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 to every prop firm and put one leaderboard together. We're going to be as transparent as possible on Topstep TV of that. We're going to go bigger than the top 10. So then you can kind of see people that come up, brag about it, and then never to be seen again. You can ask them where they're at and why they haven't seen them. Or you can celebrate that they're staying there, going up the ladder and staying and making it to the top 10, or even holding number 1 for as long as Dakota did or Rafa has done. This is very impressive stuff and sheds light behind the curtain on who is actually trading well.
Yep. We're going to be testing that out tomorrow for the first time live on Topstep TV. So
we get
you ready for that?
We
still got the old process today.
Man.
Tomorrow it's going to change up.
Right here, right now. Yep. This is the best.
We have crude oil putting in new highs, entering into a previous gap. See if we can fill that gap because that takes us up to 72.60, which is the weekly kickoff high. You can see this right here. Buy low, higher highs, higher lows. There's the gap, that purple part, and we get through that. Next up, 72.60, weekly kickoff high. That gap goes all the way back to the 30th of August. The weekend gap, actually, sort of. 30th to the 3rd of September.
It'll almost be merging with the daily 50-period moving average.
There you go.
If you go to your daily, they are converging. At least in mine. Is that your daily?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is the CL, right?
If you configure your chart, you'll get there.
This is the 50, 100, and 200 right there.
Yeah.
Yours looks different?
No. Well, when you scrunch the XY axis, it just, you can talk yourself into the story all day long.
Yeah, right.
We've got a fair bit of heavy congestion at 72. They argued a lot there in times past on the weekly formation. If you look at the composite chart, So we might run into a little bit of trouble. It looks like we ran into trouble on maybe Wednesday. Wednesday? Was that yesterday? Or maybe Tuesday evening, something
here?
like that. I don't, yeah. Yeah. 72 is a number I've been looking at for a bit. I did go long at 57.74-ish.
So you're liking.
Yeah, I want to see if it gets to 81. If it gets up above that 81, it's
gonna.
Yeah, it should. It's just sort of iffy, It's kind of iffy.
Yeah. So here's the profile.
Doesn't feel too good.
Yeah. 82 is the IB high. Excess failed upside auction. If we start taking out all those single TPOs, then the shorts are out. And that's what you're looking for to happen, is you want to see all that get taken out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know where you find the level to buy it. You said 75. Can you show us where you saw that?
So let me just put up one chart here. Let me go to the YM. I look at not the YM, silly goose. I look at the 1 hour candlesticks. And so.
And Marie's charts, please.
Yeah. So my thought was, if I could get up over the 1 hour candlestick closes / heavy congestion, that it was going to be a long.
Hang on, Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie, we've lost your charts. All good.
Oh, really? Uh-oh.
Right, so we're trading.
Oh, it shows. That's weird.
Nothing on tilt.
Okay.
Tilt's kind of been quiet today, except for that earlier, very beginning. I jumped on and said it was 70%. That was out of the gate. Sammy, I'm happy that I found Topstep. This is early in my learning journey. Topstep X, cherry on top. I learned more this week in the past 3 months of just watching YouTube videos. Thank you. That is the reason why we started Topstep TV. Glad you found Topstep. Well, and I wish I had both of these before I lost 90,000 real dollars before the age of 23. So you shouldn't have to risk.
Anne-Marie, we've got your charts now. Let's talk about that again.
So I stare down the 1 hour a lot. And so I noticed this area here was going to be the zone. If it got above it was 57.74.
Okay.
And so
you're kind of taking a breakout of a bull flag there, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, I wanted to do it at 68, but I just didn't have the guts, if I were to be completely honest. Because what happened was, because I look at those hourly candles, I can see 57.67. I knew the buyers. I could see them hitting the bid from the way the candles were moving. And I thought, all right, if I can hold my low and I start getting up above there, I want to buy it. But I just kept. Yeah.
The house account is very hungry to go 3 for 3 because you've been 2 for 2, and we would have loved to know about that one. Loved.
Yeah, for me, I try to make it super simple because I have a tendency to overcomplicate things in my head. And these hourly candlesticks, as long as they match levels and mechanics that John talks about in the morning, I sort of seal up on them for the time that I get in the trade. So yeah, if it comes in later in the day, whoever's running the account, just so long as it holds that congestion. I just saw a ton of buyers just really struggle hard to hold 68, and I thought, you know what? That's going to be the zone. And really, Jack had mentioned the number just shy of that before he left. And, I think it's still a good number. I just don't know if it's going to hang me out to dry now that I'm long there
So
as opposed to where my risk is.
You long from what's your average? Long 76s?
Yeah.
All right. So if it gets back down there and retests, what are you thinking? And John, what's the trusted folks saying? Chat poll. Do you guys like it in the S&P and NASDAQ? Same thing. Do you like it higher or lower then you just pick a price right around here before the end of fast market, which is
15 minutes. Yeah.
15 minutes. Yeah.
There's a lot of risk in taking along here, right, John?
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult to manage that risk. Look at that hourly chart you're looking at. Just so we're looking at the same thing here. Yeah. That's why I can't, unless we start taking out those single TPOs on the top, above 80, 82, to me, it looks more like a short.
Yeah.
But we're not really pulling back off of it that far. And most of the time, you're sitting in profit. So there's no reason to freak out. That's the question I would have had was, well, where's the risk? On the profile, the low of the current bar is 72. Anything below that, I would probably give up on. But you're still getting buyers here. Emery, you've got Delta on your side because there's negative 10,500 on there still. If we squeeze those shorts out again, we could start taking out those single TPOs. Then you're really going to like the long. And we've been talking about trying to find areas to buy it, haven't we?
Yes. And it was finally when you said, listen, we're looking at these pullbacks. There's these things we got to take out above. We've been thinking about these longs. And my mind went back to, you should have picked up those 68s because that's exactly what John is saying. And so, I just, it's hard to talk, engage, and trade. I literally can only do one thing at a time. Or I end
Jack
up
was talking about 65s when we were down there. He liked those. I like those. That was value low. We're taking out the single TPOs in the NASDAQ now. We're going to take out those single TPOs probably in the S&Ps here. We still got a lot of negative delta to take out. But I can't buy it here. Retail, right? Can't buy the highs.
Well, if we can't buy highs, let's take a look at the leaderboard. No, do your thing, Hogue. Do it first.
Oh, well, just saying, here's that failed upside auction in the NASDAQ. We're starting to take out all those TPOs like Pac-Man. And that's looking good for the upside. Got to take out that high, though.
Can we get a Pac-Man sound effect and see if it matches up with John does? I want to see if it's like the same.
It's pretty close.
It's pretty
close.
Dolphin
too.
It's
get a dolphin
pretty
too.
close.
Yeah.
See what I can get.
There's the dolphin.
It's incredible. That's incredible, Hogue.
There's Johnny's dolphin. He has a cow, a dolphin.
He did that with his mouth?
Oh, yeah.
You did that with your mouth?
Talented, Ann. He's talented.
Yes, I have many useless gifts.
That your children have loved through time, of course.
Yeah. Yes, they have. Yeah. You got that right. Yeah. And that dolphin is so loud and piercing. If it was loud in the pit and I was trying to get somebody's attention to check a trade, if I did that dolphin, everybody knew it was me and the whole pit would look at me.
Do it facing the other way, John, like not your mic. See if you can hear it, like the wall or something. Won't
Holy
pick it up.
cow.
Not picking it up then.
Amazing.
So compliance actually got a complaint about it from the other side of the floor. And it took them 2 weeks to figure out who it was. Once they figured out who it was, they tried to tell me to stop. I said, tell whoever complained to come tell me himself.
Yeah. What self-regulated nerd did upset about that?
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious.
Well,
All right, guys.
I mean, go ahead. Go ahead, JD.
I was just going to say, we got less than 10 minutes left. And I know everybody's itching to get a look at the leaderboard. You want to run through that real quick?
Yes.
All right.
I assume it's the last of the house accounts. So thanks for the 2 for 2. Solid $2,600 on really no heat whatsoever. So the house
This is
account
always
was a good trade.
nice.
Thanks you. Thanks. And it's also upset with you on the last trade because you didn't invite us to that party.
I'm sorry.
Well, the party's not over yet.
Your parties have been you've been throwing great parties, Amy. I don't know why I can't give you your third one. Come on.
All right, guys, here's the bottom half of the leaderboard. This is the top 10. Bottom half of the top 10. Starting at the top, we've got Nick for a tick. Made about $4,000 in his excess phase yesterday. Took that $15,000 payout that we saw. Now sitting in 6th place on the leaderboard. He moved up from 8th place yesterday. Drayton lost another $15,000 yesterday across 5 XFAs. Held on to 7th place for another day. Our guy Brian lost about $700 or so, if I'm reading this right. $700. Still moved up a spot on the board. He was in 9th place yesterday.
Losing a
Marina.
Delesh.
A Delesh, yes. He lost a Delesh.
He lost a
700
Delesh.
$700 will now be known as a Delesh. Everybody write that one down.
That is perfect.
Marina, who we saw, took that nice payout yesterday. What was that payout again? Marina took $38,357 in payouts yesterday. Did not take any trades, though. Still moved up a spot on the board, 9th place. She was in 10th place yesterday. But nice job paying yourself, Marina. And Boo is back. He made about $20,000 across 3 XFAs yesterday. He sneaked back into 10th place. He was in 17th place yesterday. All right, James, we're ready for it.
Okay, nobody parties but me.
Yes. And we party.
No.
Yeah, just Rod.
Yes.
And me.
No. I'm the only one who parties.
I'm pretty sure I've partied before.
No, Kevin, I know for a fact you don't party, okay? You do not party.
You're right. Dave's the party guy.
Sweet. I definitely party.
Hoag's the party guy. All right, we had some shakeups on the list today. We'll start down here at the bottom. Franklin had that massive. We saw him on the XFA P&L board. He had that massive $101,000 winning day yesterday. Jumped from 155th place up to 5th in one day. Big day for Franklin. Pratik had a nice day. Made a couple of grand. Took close to 30,000 in payouts, or requested close to 30,000 in payouts yesterday. Moved up from 13th place to 4th. Marco made about 14 grand across 6 funded level accounts. That's 1 live account, 5 XFAs. Held on to 3rd place for another day. Now this guy Jerome, this is a story. Jerome's new to the list, but he's been making some moves the last couple weeks. He went from 2 weeks ago, he was in 175th place. Moved up to 39th place late last week. Yesterday, he moved up to 12th place. And today, he's in 2nd place. In just 5 trading days, Jerome ran his 5 XFAs up to a total balance of $124,000. Did a little better yesterday, and I just got word. I was looking at his trade reports. He requested roughly a $65,000 payout yesterday. So we might see him on the payouts board again tomorrow. So it's been a big...
Wow.
Yeah, that's a payout.
Yeah. So not all of these same 5 XFAs have carried him all the way up, but just these recent 5 that he's been in for the last 5 trading days has really pushed him over the line here. And yeah, just making huge moves, Jerome is. And then we've got Rafa. King for a day. Rafa lost about $5,000 in his single live funded account, but still pretty far ahead of the pack, sitting in first place.
Amazing.
But looking forward to see what Jerome does the next couple of days. When you're making moves like that, usually you stick around for a while. It's been steady too. He didn't pop. Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'll ask you when you're finished.
Oh yeah. When we see people make huge like 1 day leaps, they have a tendency to fade off the top 10, top 25, even top 50, even. They make those huge moves in 1 or 2 days and then they're gone. But Jerome's been making steady moves for about 2 weeks now. So
huge moves 1 or 2 days and they're gone. That's why like JD and the team is going to be opening up a leaderboard of the most profitable funded traders. This is a combination of profits and payouts. But there's a board there that's the most profitable funded traders. You'll see people, like they take a screenshot of what they do really well, and then that's what you get. And then that when they take a screenshot, they do really well. You'll also probably see them on the leaderboard. That'll pop up. They top 100. We're showing top 50 or top 100, whatever we're doing. Oh, there's 36. Wow, they are. They did put it on Twitter, and they are 36 here. But then if you see them vanish, and you see them never reporting anything and still talking about the winners, you are allowed to then question them. And this is what the leaderboard will help people do: is question them and be like, "Hey, can you start posting? Just letting us know that you're also at that losing day, that $14,000 losing day. You're now at 92nd, and you're not at 50 or 34 or whatever it was." And that's a little bit better. So the goal is for us to shed that light on that. So then we all keep each other honest. You guys keep us honest. You guys do a hell of a job of that. And we're going to try to help the industry, community, and all that. Do it the same way. If we're all working together, we're not just like the white knight here, all solving all problems. But we're going to try to do the best we can to help make it a better, more transparent community. So awesome. That is the cool part about it.
We got a couple of minutes left here. It is time for appreciations. Chat. Everybody, what are you appreciative for today? Put that in the chat. And I'm going to start the appreciations with JD. JD, what are you appreciative for today?
James, thanks for those excellent clips from Lake Lawn. Not everybody got to party all day long. James is out there working real hard, making videos. Yeah. He's still got a ton of content left to share with us. He's been working hard putting that together. And it's going to be real funny once it's all finished. Well, it better be funny, James. But a big shout out to him. He does a great job behind the scenes. He doesn't get enough credit for what he does. So thank you, James.
Those are great.
For sure.
Anne-Marie, how about you? What are you appreciative for?
I'm appreciative for guys that have it in them to call 911 and somebody's driving crazy on the street.
Ooh.
You just took
Listen, our world is the way it is because we don't look out for each other. And sometimes it means somebody's being a little bit bad and they need to have their hands pulled out to the corner to go, hey, let's get ourselves squared away before we kill somebody or something else.
Self-regulation could spill over into the public day and self-regulated world.
I'm grateful for that.
Self-regulate.
It might get you shanked in prison, but it's okay.
No, that will definitely get you shanked. 100% will get you shanked in prison, but birds of those feathers are all in that prison together. So, hey.
Michael, what are you appreciative for?
I'm actually appreciative, and then I'll kick it back to you. I haven't been on with you in a while, so it's always fun. Your laugh and your smile get me all the time. And I dressed up a little bit more when I'm on here with you, so I usually kind of roll out of bed. So.
For those of you that don't know, we have a glossary. If you go to Topstep.tv, the website, there's a glossary of terms in there, and one of them happens to be shanked, which Anne-Marie gave us. And her definition of being shanked is getting knifed in a Philadelphia parking lot. It's on there.
It's on there. Share the link to the market lingo. It should help some of the newbies in here find out or understand. It's fun.
Well, I'm appreciative of as always, my God, my family, and I was going to say the same thing, that there's still people in the world that are willing to look out for somebody else,
Exactly.
even if they offered to buy them a drink. So I really appreciate that about you, MP. That was a really good thing to do. We need more of people. We need more of you out there, and
Care about each
so
other.
yeah. So we've got power players coming up with Dolby and Kevin Yu. So stick around, ladies and gentlemen. I know we missed Andre today. Did my best,
Order
and
filled.
hopefully you had a good trading morning. I know the house account made a little bit of money today, which is always great. Anne Marie, thank you very much. JD, MP, always a pleasure. Stick around. More coming your way.
Why Topstep? Because traders shouldn't have to risk everything to participate in the markets. And since 2012, we've provided capital to over 10,000 futures traders just like you. From the pits in Chicago to screen